damning.
Yay! Yeah, the last part just talking about women getting pregnant. We are live now. Welcome to the Chatterbox 51. Affectionately titled Rocky Road to Heck. We got Day Twakwa and Skittles McStabby Pants here. I actually did like a proper intro.
Nice.
Woohoo!
Don't get used to that, people.
No, do not get used to that at all, ever. That shit is not going to be normal.
Oh, man. Oh, there it is. I thought I wasn't getting the notification for this, but no, there it is.
Man, popping out that chat, sometimes I forget that I forget to leave it muted so that it won't, it'll open the new, the stream again. Because for whatever reason, you can't see in Hangouts, you can't see the chat. I've never understood that.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, dude. Yeah. So none of the things on the side do that, huh? That's weird.
No. There's supposed to be a way to get questions, but I've never seen it successfully used by anyone.
OBS, apparently you need OBS or something. Whatever the fuck OBS is.
I've never actually seen anybody actually use that, though. Even the people that run it through all the different streaming software stuff.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be a way to pose questions in the chat and have people ask questions in the chat, and then they show up in the Hangout. There was something like that. I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't see it there anymore with the apps thing. It was a weird thing, and it never really worked. Like, nobody ever successfully did it. And, granted, I don't know what I'm doing, but I've seen a lot of other streams where people are, on top of the whole thing, and they've never managed to get it working.
Never mastered it.
Or even, half-ass mastered it.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I'm looking for... Okay, we got a couple of follow-up stuff we've discussed before, and let's see... Oh, I do want to acknowledge there's... Oh, yeah. Here we go. This was an interesting one. This one I almost want to share it with Engelhardt, but I think he might get angry. So one of the jurors for the Kate Steinle murder trial, the ones that dismissed the charges against the dude, spoke out, saying, and his whole thing is it was a freak accident, could have happened to anyone.
Yeah, so, anyone who's
fucking delusional,
Yeah, anyone who fucking stole a gun and decided to fire it off in public.
Yeah, exactly. It's such nonsense. It's like the gun was stolen from a fucking Bureau of Land Management vehicle, which is a cop, essentially.
Right.
It's the same as a park ranger, but a very specific type of park ranger. Just for people, anybody who might be watching that doesn't know.
Yeah, the fact that they're carrying weapons and they have issued weapons gives you a fucking hint as to what they fucking do.
Well, can you fucking imagine, Bureau of Land Management? Because there's huge swaths of land. For anybody who doesn't understand, in the United States, there are huge swaths of land that aren't owned by anybody. And the Bureau of Land Management manages them because they're technically owned by the people at large.
Right.
So you can go and you can camp on it for usually 14 days consecutively, and then you have to move a minimum of between 15 and 30 miles away, usually. And then you can camp for another 14 days, and so you can go camping perpetually. There are people who actually live traveling around the country, just living on Bureau of Land Management land and camp tents, vans, RVs, the whole shebang. And it doesn't cost you anything.
Right. Yeah. On a quick side note, it took me a while to recognize BLM as Black Lives Matter instead of Bureau of Land Management.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Fucking, I'm like, BLM, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, duh.
Yeah, and then some states also, I think Arizona being one, have also land that's not BLM land, but is state land. But it's owned by the people of the state and managed in a very similar fashion.
Yeah.
California does, Arizona does, I think New Mexico as well, and probably other states. But
yeah, because there's still quite a lot of land that's just fucking undeveloped kind of wilderness here.
Tons, acres and acres, miles and miles, man.
Yeah, even California, like obviously anything remotely close to the coast is going to be pretty built up, but a lot of that stuff inland, towards the state borders, there's a lot of just open land too. I would imagine.
Yeah, it's really a fascinating thing. But usually, I think the most you have to pay is like a maintenance fee,
Hmm.
like per year. Though it's not like, so I think it's like maybe $50 to $100 per year maintenance fee if you want, or you can pay like $5 at a go.
Right,
And it's
right.
just essentially it's because people are pieces of shit that don't clean up after themselves.
Yeah, that's
So
so fucking
it pays
dickish.
to have people go out and pick up the trash that people inevitably leave, and a lot of times it'll also pay for things like sewage dumps and water and stuff like that. So places where
Right.
people can go get like drinking water, and people can go dump their black water tanks for their RVs and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it sounds like an interesting. Yeah, I could see myself doing that shit. Just having an RV or a trailer or something. Just
Yeah, I think
parking.
like an oversized where it's like almost the size of a big van, but maybe a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger would be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you
And
have
I
more than
did.
one person.
Yeah, and I did notice that when I was on vacation in Flagstaff, we went to the Grand Canyon, which is about an hour and a half outside of Flagstaff. I did notice a lot of like RVs and again trucks with trailers just off the road. Like there was just a tiny little like dirt, like it was barely more than a trail. It wasn't paved or anything, or even maintained. I don't think. But there would be, every so often there'd be a fucking trailer or an RV just parked out there.
Oh yeah, that's pretty common. Essentially, the way BLM works is if you've paid whatever fee or you know what you're doing, there's a lot of places you can just park and stay for a couple of days and it's not illegal.
Yeah. And, hey, we got people in the chats already.
Hey, sweet.
Jesus, fucking Akinaro. What's up, fellas? Yeah.
Fucking all right, man.
You can read that if you want.
You know what? We're making people happy. That's what we do. We make people happy.
Yeah. Yeah, glad we could help you out, man. Yeah. Or if he just needs any kind of white noise, and we'll do. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I'd like to think there's something special about us.
Well, you know what? There's sooner or later there's going to be hands-free options. That people are going to be like hooking up to their desks and shit. I'm sure there already are now, but I mean like affordable ones.
Right, right.
Where it's like you send in like $50, $100, and you get yourself a little thing you clamp to your desk and insert your member in to deal with.
Right.
But since we're talking about semen, essentially, I do have a story that sort of involves cum. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Do it.
so this is really a really unfortunate shitty kind of thing. This is a sperm donor who's being forced to pay child support to a lesbian couple, and this is in the state of Kansas.
Wow.
And so essentially what happened is he donated. There's a full contract and everything. He's not legally liable for any of that.
Right.
So the women can't hold him liable. So, but they had some financial difficulties. They applied for benefits through the state. And because the state of Kansas decided, fuck the contract, we're just going to take the money from him instead.
Yeah.
So
That's
they're
fucking horrible.
essentially, yeah, instead of going, because they didn't go through like a doctor or anything. They did a private contract and a private deal. And I would really, it's a really fucking inappropriate precedent to set, because essentially it's the state coming in and just taking his money.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. I mean, I understand them wanting to go after anybody to, when they have to pay out benefits to a kid or whatever.
Yeah.
I understand going after the dad or whatever, but this is obviously fucking different, dude.
Yeah, when there's already a contract in place that he's clearly not to be held responsible, like financially, like the people who had the kid are like, look, all he's doing is donating the sperm. We're the ones taking full legal responsibility for the child.
Right, right.
Contractually.
So the lesbian couple is not, I assume, is not on board with what the state's doing. Is that correct?
No, they just applied for benefits and the state did it.
Okay. All right.
So they didn't go after him for child support. The state refused benefits and then went after him for child support themselves.
Okay.
So Kansas decided that he didn't get that contract was invalid. So
Yeah.
that the problem is, this is something that happens in a lot of cases. The government is never responsible.
Right.
If there's anybody they can just take the money from without, they don't even need evidence in a lot of cases. They'll just take the fucking money.
Yeah. That's fucking. Ugh. I wonder, can that get escalated? Even though it's like a state thing, can that get escalated to the Supreme Court?
He should escalate it to the Supreme Court because I believe the Supreme Court would uphold the contract.
Yeah.
I think they would say, look, you don't get to just randomly decide he's liable after these people have all made this is a reasonable situation. He's not liable. He gets to take a walk away from that.
Yeah, that's the whole reason for the agreement.
I mean, it's essentially adoption.
Right.
You get to put your kid up for adoption if you want, and you have no liability for that kid.
Mm.
You also have no rights to the child. Like, you don't get to go see them. You don't get any of that other stuff. And the state can't hold you responsible financially for that.
Yeah.
So why would they then, in what is essentially a form of adoption, why would they then be able to hold you responsible?
Yeah.
Fiscally.
Yeah, and it's weird how, like when I had to file for benefits for my son, like once I had custody, they can't seem to find my ex, even though I guarantee she's getting benefits too. You know what I mean? They can't seem to fucking find her. It's fucking bullshit.
A lot of times it takes some financial incentives to the agencies. Like, we're going to sue you for the money if you don't actually follow through and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess, I don't think they have a whole lot of money anyway. Maybe that's part of it. Like, they look at it and they're like, this bitch isn't making anything anyway.
If anything, they're looking at it and going, we're not going to take money from a woman. I guarantee it. Because they don't give a fuck how much money you make. I've seen way too many dudes who make, $1,000 a month have child support of like $750 a month.
No, it gets ridiculous.
They just, in this case, I guarantee it's definitely a double standard.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, at least for the people working there. Although at least Arizona is one of the states that actually, I think it was back in 2014, actually kind of put in a mandate that if there's no pressing reason why there can't be equal time for each parent, then they should get equal time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Well, I would like to see that in every state. I think that should be a federal mandate.
Yeah, dude, sort of absolutely should.
Some of these things really should be like on a federally mandated, like child support and divorce laws should really be like a federal, across the board kind of thing, because it shouldn't be one law in one state and a different law in another state.
Yeah, that is really weird for one country to have all these different laws in different areas.
Well, there's certain things that make sense, like state taxes, the way they run, like their police and stuff. Like I can understand that all being different,
right?
That level of autonomy, but something like gun laws, marriage laws, things that are basically being directly affected by constitutional rights. Like these are, you have the right to own firearms without any interference from the government.
Right.
So this whole nonsense with the concealed carry permits being different in every state and not being forced into reciprocity was ridiculous.
Yeah. No,
because
you're right.
States that and you have states that just because it hasn't been challenged doesn't mean that the people who make laws don't recognize that those states have unconstitutional gun laws. So forcing reciprocity is just like, I think that's a huge step forward when it comes to like enforcing the rights of the people.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see other similar forms of reciprocity forced,
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Like you said, there's things that are understandable that, states should obviously have certain rights, but
Yeah, some state wants to have gambling, some states don't. That's fine. Nobody's harmed either way, and it's not a right.
Yeah.
You don't have the right to go gamble. It's not a.
But yeah, the gun laws really should be uniform.
Yeah, and having different standards for what your punishments are for whatever kind of like crime. That's fine too. I get that.
Yeah.
Some states are going to execute murderers. Some states are non-execution states. That's fine. That's up to them.
Right.
We're not dealing with constitutional issues. But when you're talking about things like marriage, which the federal courts have stepped in and said like gay marriage is legal across the board, then they should also be making the laws about divorce and all that stuff pretty much the same across the board, in my opinion, just because it's it's consistent with what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a little crazy how like if you live in a state where you can't get married because you're gay, you can go to another state and get married and it's still recognized. It's weird. Yeah. So yeah, that really should have been, either way. It should have always been.
And now it's I think every state has to allow it. Like no state can refuse to have gay people married.
Right.
So I think that's the case. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I think that was the whole thing with that was.
Yeah, those fucking Mormons in their Prop 8 screwed it up for all the states, man.
Yeah.
Because they basically fucking ran the biggest con job ever on California and won. And then the people in the federal courts were just like, all right, we can't let that shit work. We can't let that go.
Yeah.
It was essentially religious law being forced on everybody.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking blatant, dude. I was surprised in California that they could find a way to get Prop 8 to fucking win, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody knew it was a Mormon law. Nobody knew that the Mormons were behind it. They all thought it was the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing they were talking about, and this is how it's weird because when you look at when Prop 8 passed, that was in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Everybody was freaked out that they were going to teach your kids about gay people in school.
Right.
And now it's like they're teaching kids just complete fucking nonsense.
Yeah, all the different genders.
To do with education and is factually incorrect in a lot of cases, and everybody's fine with it. And it's similar to teaching about gay marriage. Because like when I went to school, they didn't teach you about marriage at all. So I don't know why they were going to suddenly start teaching people about gay marriage. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't remember any real relationship talk at all throughout school.
But suddenly now that actually is happening. So I mean, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird that it's now acceptable to fucking.
Yeah, I don't want to teach my kids what is and isn't appropriate. Like that's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Either I'll do it or they'll learn on the goddamn street. I don't need the fucking school teaching them.
I agree with things like sex ed, but I don't think like they need to teach children like genders and all that. Like that's just weird.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If you want to fucking tell them about fucking contraception and show them fucking BD. Yeah, talking about fucking what diseases you can get if you don't use protection. That's fucking awesome. But yeah.
Well, it has been shown to lower teen pregnancy in every place it's done. So
yeah,
I think the ultimate goal is not to have kids having babies. So that seems to be one of the best ways to stop it so far.
Yeah, I love the states that are like, no, we should just be teaching just abstinence, and that's it.
It's like a 20 or 30% rise.
Yeah.
In teen pregnancy in places where they do abstinence only.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, do you not remember being a fucking teenager?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna tell teenagers just don't fuck. Like, oh my god, dude, you're so fucking horny. Like, dude, that's the fucking drive as a teenager is so overpowering. Like, you can't tell kids just to stop, just to not do it. Like, some might listen, but not a whole lot.
It's bizarre. It's so fucking weird, man. What was he? Fucking brains. Nope. Whatever it was is gone now.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I'm having a thought. Nope.
Oh, there was some great YouTube videos, but I don't know if you can still find them up anymore because who knows.
Mm.
But they were actual lessons from abstinence only sex education.
Mm. Oh
So
wow.
this fucking so this fucking teacher would have everybody chew on a piece of candy for a minute and then spit it into a bag, right? And then hand the bag to some kid and teach them that, and tell them that like having sex before marriage makes you like a bag full of pre-chewed candy and no one will want you.
God damn, dude.
And the other one is they would fucking pass a cup around and have everybody spit in it and hand it to a kid and be like, "Well, drink the spit." And they're like, "No." And they're like, "See, that's what people think of people that have had sex."
Jesus Christ.
Like if you're having sex with somebody who's fucking had sex before, it's like drinking a cup full of other people's spit.
Right.
Shit that makes no sense.
Yeah, it turns out it's nothing like that.
Yeah, it's like just there's no that's what do you call that, a parable or a oh there's a phrase for it, but you know what I'm talking about, like that just makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Anecdote? No, it wouldn't be anecdote either. What the fuck would you call it?
Metaphor?
Is it a metaphor? Yeah, metaphor. Yeah, I think metaphor. Yeah, metaphor sounds about right. Yeah. Analogy,
metaphor, something in that realm, because it's so insane. It's hard to pin it down.
Right. It needs its own category. It's so fucking ridiculous.
But nobody's gonna fucking like believe that. Like teenagers, especially, are gonna be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Like I get what you're saying. Like, okay, I'm sleeping with all the partners they've had or something, but it's not literally like fucking drinking everyone's spit.
Yeah. But then you get shit and like I live in a state that isn't abstinence only, and like even in abstinence only states you get shit like I was in junior college, right? And so these are kids who are out of high school and adults technically. And I'm sitting in class listening to these 3 or 4 girls sitting there chatting about. First, they start talking about yeast infection, so I kind of tuned out a little bit. I'm not really fair. I just whatever. But then fucking this one girl's like, "Oh no, don't use those birth control pills. My friend got pregnant off of those." And I'm just sitting there going, well, "They're not 100%, you fucking moron."
Right.
They're not 100%. That's the whole fucking point.
Like, yeah. Especially if you're not taking them like at the same time every single day, or you know what I mean. Like,
you kind of have to be really consistent with them. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you can't just take 2. You can't miss a day and then take 2. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, well, they make 2 sizes of condoms. So like, there's a lot of people who think there's the extra large ones. Those aren't real. Almost universally, as far as I've ever heard, all of the extra large ones are the same size as the regular condoms. But they actually do make smaller condoms for people who are less endowed. And if you are one of those people who are less endowed and you use a regular size condom, you increase the chances of getting the woman pregnant by a lot.
Right. That's crazy.
And but like I know the Trojan king size or whatever, the what are
the
they?
Magnum?
Yeah, I know for a fact the Trojan Magnums are the same size as the regular ones.
Yeah. Are they really?
Yeah,
what's the difference?
They charge you more for one.
No, well, I had a friend of mine that used those because he had when he would use regular condoms, they would snap. Like, he has apparently a pretty girthy cock, so he would use those, and he said those would never break. But if you use regular condoms, a lot of times they'd snap and break.
Hold on, I'm looking it up real quick, but as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't know. It might just actually be a little wider. Maybe it's just more reinforced or something. I don't know. But yeah. I remember that dude used to claim that he didn't have a big dick for some inches. So like 1/10 of an inch or 13% of an inch?
Yeah, the difference is 0.13 inches.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, but I remember that dude would have.
You can stretch a condom over your head and it won't break. So your friend must have been doing some pretty freaky shit.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, he was definitely a sex addict too. So,
Perhaps the Magnum, while not being particularly bigger, are more thick. Acanaro says its thickness probably. Yeah, thickness would make more sense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like it's just more reinforced or whatever. But yeah, it was kind of funny to have that dude. Like for some reason, I never understood this. He would try to deny that he had a big dick. You're like, no, it's not really that big. It's kind of fat. And I'm like, dude, if you're snapping regular condoms, you probably have a pretty big dick.
Well, there's a lot of chicks that don't want that though.
Yeah,
there's. I mean, you'll see on Twitter that size is the only is really important, blah blah blah. But the vast majority of women, it really isn't.
Right. Like, well, I think they want a certain minimum, but I don't think there's a whole lot of them that are that excited about a huge.
If you're under 4 inches, you're probably not going to be able to. There's going to be a lot of women who are going to be like, "Wow, that is kind of small." But I think if you're over 4 inches, you're probably all right.
Yeah,
for most women.
Yeah, considering the clit especially is just kind of right there, Yeah.
Well, you have a tongue. If you're not using your tongue or your fingers, you're tiny. You're kind of fucking shooting yourself in the foot there. Buy a fucking vibrator. Whatever it takes. Throw in some extra shit. But there's a lot of chicks who just like some dudes are way too big and they're just not interested.
Yeah, where it's actually painful and it's not actually pleasurable for them. Yeah.
Specifically, there's a lot of women who don't particularly care for if it bumps against the cervix.
Gotcha.
Heard that on multiple occasions. Because primarily, I tend to like when I hang out with people, hang out mostly with women. So I hear a lot of that kind of stuff. Like very open and honest shit.
Yeah. This Yakinaro said he had a friend that used to poke needles and condoms in his fucking stores. Jesus Christ.
That's not cool, man. I kind of feel like it's a little bit funny, but it's not really funny. You know what I mean? Like, just so fucked up.
I can see it. I can see thinking that was funny when I was a kid and not really considering what the fuck that's doing to somebody. But yeah,
like I go and I sit in traffic and I'm like, fuck that dude who's poking holes in the condoms.
Yeah, nowadays, but when I was like fucking late teens, early 20s, even, I probably would have still thought that was funny.
Oh yeah, well, I was the only one in grade school who would be willing to go in and buy like whatever.
Yeah.
I remember there was like my friends thought it was like this crazy thing because I was willing to go in and buy a box of condoms, and I'm just like, I don't fucking care. I just don't.
Right.
As long as I'm not wasting the money that I'd rather go spend on like a fucking candy bar or a fucking soda pop bottle or something. But like if it was their money, I'll buy whatever the heck they want.
Yeah.
17 years old and you're poking holes in condoms? That seems inappropriate, sir.
I don't know. I could still see myself doing something like that at that age, dude.
Fucking. Now I found the article I wanted to show you because it's such an unfortunate thing. So we were talking before about the felony riot charges against the Antifa who caused the stuff who were rioting in DC.
Jesus, dude.
So they dismissed the felony charges.
Wow.
Which is really unfortunate because it's a precedent. They're probably going to dismiss it on all of them. It would be very unlikely that they would dismiss felony charges against the first group and then not
the other ones
for the rest of the group.
Yeah.
They still are. Let's see. All six are still facing 5 other charges, including property damage. They tried to move to acquit that as well. Was denied. But if they're convicted of the stuff, they can still face up to 50 years in prison, I think.
Oh, wow.
Which
means, long as there's some fucking consequences, dude. Fuck.
Well, 20 people have already pleaded guilty for lesser charges. And 20 people had charges dropped. The 20 people that had charges dropped may have been members of the press that were not cooperating with police and released on the day.
Oh, right.
The ones who were like flipping out and screaming and yelling and trying to fucking push the cops and, big fucking shock that the cops didn't let them go.
Yeah.
Like, you're acting like a lunatic. We're not letting you back out on the street. We've got this whole group contained now. I just think it's unfortunate because it very much was incitement of a riot. Like that's
Yeah, it absolutely was. It wasn't even incitement. It was a riot. Like that was their fucking that was their fucking goal.
And it's beyond the shadow of any kind of reasonable doubt. So the judge essentially took the choice away from the jury, which is a really shitty thing to have happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is, at least they didn't just fucking completely acquit him. But yeah, you're right. That's fucking bullshit to just
it should have been up to the jury.
Yeah, unilaterally decide that the riot charges are going to get dropped.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it's like it couldn't have been dropped because of lack of evidence, because there was a surfeit of evidence. Everybody was videoing this.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can go back online and you can see them agreeing to show up in all these same outfits so that they can hide the people who are doing the violent acts.
Right.
There's no.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, they just happened to pick the same wardrobe. It was an amazing coincidence.
Well, I mean, there's no way a reasonable, rational jury of 13 people would not have found them guilty. So I think the judge is really out of line in that. But since the case has been dismissed at this point, you can't go back and recharge them. You can't have double jeopardy.
See, that's another reason for not dismissing those charges is the fact that you can't go back and reinstate them, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it's and I don't know. Part of me doesn't agree with the constant. Oh, hey, Engelhardt, what's up, man? Yeah. Well, see, Engelhardt, we're not even talking about convicting them with evidence. We're saying we should let the jury decide whether or not to convict them based on the evidence that's provided, which is pretty rational for us.
Yeah. Letting the jury actually decide.
So I mean. Oh man! On the heels of letting that one kid go already for the fucking torture of the dude with 200
Oh, the one in Chicago
service, it's pretty probation. Shitty,
Yeah. Although I'm fairly certain that kid's going to fuck up again in the next 4 years of their probation and end up going to jail.
Yeah, but I feel like the family of the kid, the family and the kid who were tortured, like they deserve more than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They deserve some justice, man, and I don't think that was justice at all. I think that was completely unjust.
Yeah, that was
giving the girl like 5 years in prison. I still think that there needs to be some justice to this.
Yeah, that was an incredibly cruel and malicious fucking act of those fucking assholes, dude.
Yeah, and complete disregard for the law, like no remorse because they're just blatantly filming it and putting it on Facebook.
Yeah, that was so amazing. There was people telling her, "Hey, you're gonna get in trouble. What the fuck are you doing?" And she's just fucking laughing at them, dude.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate that Antifa is not facing the felony charges that they should be facing, because I think there really should be consequences for terrorist acts.
Yeah. No, it's like you said. It really should have gone to a fucking jury and let them decide. Yeah. Maybe they would have fucked it up too, but.
It's DC, and they're pretty super left wing in DC. So I think that it's probably a case of political decision making on the judge's part.
Yeah. Plus, what I believe most of DC is African American, right?
It is predominantly black. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Well, the girl that got released in Chicago was black, but the Antifa people were all different races.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking more of black people tend to be more on the side of or against the cops. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Against authority.
Well, that's the case now, but that hasn't always been the case because it used to be more balanced because they would be like, we need cops to keep our neighborhoods safe because they're getting out of control.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that kind of switched. It's unfortunate because realistically, like, if you want to, protect the black citizens of the country in all these really terrible neighborhoods, you need more cops.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. I blame the rap music. Why not?
The rap music.
It's all the rap music.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right, Engelhardt.
It's Leibowitz, Judge Leibowitz. I don't think I'm generalizing.
Yeah. Well, technically you could be, but
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if they're elected there or appointed. Because if they're elected.
Oh, that's a good question. Let's find out. Let's see. Let's not talk while we do this, though, because that would be bad.
I'm sorry, I was reading Akinnaro's thing here. Most people in Antifa are kids of politicians and judges. So, their daddies can't discharge them. Keep the case for longer. The names would pop up. Yeah, it's a bunch of fucking upper middle class or middle class fucking spoiled rich kids that want to fucking feel edgy and want to fucking fight the system. It's fucking so ridiculous.
I can't find it. It's fucking weird. So it only goes to federal judges, which is doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right. It's weird.
Just regular judge. What, are they all federal judges in Washington D.C.?
No, they must have local fucking courts in D.C. Yeah, or maybe not. I guess it could be different, but I don't see how.
But it says they're appointed in Washington D.C. So I don't know. Either way, you're going to get a lot of political animals in D.C. Just because of the very nature of the place. It's the seat of the government.
Judicial Nominating Commission. You're composed of 7 members, each serving 6-year terms. 1 member appointed by the president, 2 members appointed by the board of governors.
Oh, Canaro makes a point. Yeah, a lot of the NFA kids are essentially rich kids, like kids of politicians and judges.
Yeah, I literally read that while you were searching, dumbass.
Oh, my bad. See?
Sorry, I take a little dig at you there.
Fair enough. Oh, no, I wasn't paying enough attention. Let's see.
All right. District of Columbia. Trying to see if there's anything more specific here. Court Reform and Criminal Procedure Act of 1970. All right. Oh, it's federal, too. God damn it.
See, that's what I'm saying, because it's essentially talking about how the government elects federal judges, which is like they're just appointed by the president for 15-year terms.
Yeah. Court of Appeals, Superior Court. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's not helpful at all.
Yeah.
I give up.
I'm going to stick with my opinion that it's probably some political maneuvering involved. Especially because whatever is decided here is probably going to set precedent for Antifa trials across the country. They're going to look at this and say, well, they didn't charge them there. Why would we charge them here?
Yeah.
So it's really unfortunate. Mm-hmm. Because it is, it really should have been up to the jury to make the decision.
Yeah, again, I don't see what harm would have been caused or, how that wouldn't have been a big, that would have been a big deal.
If it was an inaccurate charge, the jury can choose to not convict them of that and convict them of one of the other charges. Like they charge people with murder 1, but they also charge them with murder 2, so that the jury can say, well, we think he's a murderer, but we don't think he's a, murder 1 murderer. We think he's a murder 2 murderer.
Right. Yeah.
It's extremely suspicious that in the case in California where they let off the guy for killing the girl, it's extremely suspicious that manslaughter wasn't one of the options. For murder 2, because murder 2 is clearly not the case. It never should have been on the docket. It should have gone for manslaughter and wrongful death.
Right.
Due to negligence.
Yeah. It's almost like they went for that charge deliberately
because you couldn't convict him of it.
Yeah. Like it looked like you were trying, but then somehow he got off instead of just doing manslaughter and actually getting conviction.
Yeah, it's extremely suspicious. And I think it's because they wanted to support the sanctuary city laws. They didn't want to just admit that, maybe the reason shit went wrong is fucking the judge was that maybe the sanctuary city is the problem.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing that they'll let an actual natural-born U.S. citizen get shot.
And then let the guy go.
And let the guy go because,
despite having other felonies that he was convicted of.
Right. Yeah, it's sickening when you carry your ideology that fucking far, dude. Like, no, an actual citizen died because of this guy that stole the fucking gun and fucking. Yeah, it's sickening, dude.
But anyway, let's not retread too much on that. And Engelhardt, you're welcome to join if you want. You just let me know, and I'll tweet you or Skype you the link. Yeah. But I thought this was a crazy thing I saw on Twitter. I didn't go too far into it because I don't know that I want to know more details. But this surgeon was charged with assault for burning his initials into the patient's organs.
Oh my fucking god, dude! That is fucking hilarious. All right, now I have to know: does it actually cause any damage, or is it just him being a fucking?
I'm sure it's mildly damaging. It's certainly not good, but it's what he's doing is he's using the thing that closes off the blood vessels and removes masses and stuff, I assume.
Right.
Sort of like a low powered laser, and I assume he's using it on the lightest setting so that it's just marking the top.
Right.
But it's not in Brandhall, and he was actually putting SB into the livers of the patients while they were unconscious during surgery.
All right. That's fucked up, but it's also fucking hilarious, dude.
He pled guilty to assault, so he's not even going to try to. Yeah.
No, I would have liked to see that go to a fucking trial, dude.
Yeah, really.
Dude, fucking that is I'd like to know what other pranks that guy pulls, dude. Because that's pretty creative.
You know what? I can't argue with you. That is creative. And then this is something I thought was just fucking.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Dude, wait, really quick. Aknar brings up a good point. How did they fucking find out?
Oh, I would assume because surgeries are never just done with one person in the room. One of the nurses ratted him out.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Because I was kind of thinking that, like, okay, they're internal organs.
Yeah, there's got to be nurses that are assisting, and somebody saw it and was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Right.
I doubt they said anything. I offer him the opportunity to come in, and he leaves. That rat bastard. Oh no, it's probably lunchtime at his work. Never mind.
No, he said that a little bit earlier. Lunch is almost over.
Oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention. I'm going back and forth looking through my news stories for funny shit. This is fucking bizarre. So this is an interesting kind of thing. It's a little sad, but in Berlin, there were a lot of people protesting the moving of the U.S. plan to move the Israeli embassy to Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And they're calling for a violent uprising against the Jewish state. So this is clearly Islamic groups.
Right.
You can see, like, they're clearly, like, Middle Eastern, flying the Islamic flags and fucking Allahu Akbar bullshit. But, like, how fucking crazy.
Go ahead.
How crazy is it that there are now people in Germany chanting anti-Semitism and let's kill the Jews again, and it's not the Germans.
Right. No, I thought that was pretty goddamn ironic, dude. Or maybe not ironic, but it's funny either way.
No, ironic. That's the perfect term.
Yeah. Dude. The place where they don't want to fucking talk about the fucking Holocaust or mention World War II even, and certainly not Hitler or the Nazis. They don't want to fucking talk about any of that shit. Now you've got the fucking Arabs actually calling for fucking attacking the Jewish state.
Yeah. And it's like in Germany, there are people talking about killing the Jews again, and they're not the fucking Germans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, and it's also kind of terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, terrifying at the same time is a good way of putting it, for sure. Oh, man. It just blew my mind, because it was just like, didn't we fucking get past this? It's like, we had a whole fucking World War II,
Yeah. Although this is kind of an interesting thing, considering how much Angela Merkel is so fucking kind of lenient on the whole Muslim thing. You know, the fact that it's happening in her fucking home country, it's almost like they have to allow him to do it. Maybe that was part of the plan. Maybe that's why she's bringing him in. She really does hate Jews.
She's a Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah, so she's like, well, the only way is to bring in a bunch of Muslims because they're a minority. So
and nobody can question them wanting to kill another group of minorities in a genocidal fashion.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, I could actually see that happening, dude. That's fucking scary. I could actually see that being the reason.
Well, we may not know the reasons, but it is actually occurring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there are definitely Muslims calling for the.
Well, and then we're getting the special treatment of Muslim shit in our country now. What was it? I don't think I have an article for it, but they gave a dude 15 years because he broke some windows on a mosque and threw bacon in.
Oh, right.
And it's like, look, that's something where you get maybe a year or two in jail at most.
That's well, although I've heard that guy had done other shit. Like it wasn't, he had other shit.
But even then, your maximum sentence on something like that, because you're talking about petty vandalism, at worst breaking and entering, you're talking like 5 years.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on the whole the hate crime thing should not be not multiply or
well, separation of church and state alone. Like there shouldn't be higher penalties for anybody doing a crime against anything because of religion.
Yeah.
Religion is not something you're born with. It's something you choose.
Yeah. The addition of the hate crime charge seems
it's
unnecessary.
Absurd.
Yeah.
Well, it's fucking absurd because they're not a minority group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, what violent crime doesn't have some element of hate to it anyway, dude? Who really cares?
But I mean, you're not even talking about like black people or Asian people or any other minority, or even
you're talking about religion,
ethnic Jewish people, not religious Jewish, ethnically Jewish.
Right.
You're talking about Muslim, which is a religious group of people that have chosen to be Muslim. It's not a minority. They shouldn't be a protected group.
Yeah.
Even based on
ridiculous.
Oh, fucking Akinara is going in Pokemon battle style now. See, I'm not even arguing. Like, obviously, I don't agree with the hate laws, but I'm just saying, even under our own laws, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
Even if you include hate crimes laws, that still doesn't make sense. Like,
yeah, he wasn't trying to kill anybody. He was being a dick, obviously, being a smartass. But yeah. It's kind of a troll.
Throw a bunch of bacon into a mosque. Like, man, it's a shitty thing to do. You shouldn't do it, but it's a little bit funny.
Yeah, it's basically in real life fucking trolling, dude.
Yeah, it'd be like fucking throwing goat hearts or something into a fucking Christian church. You'd be like, all right, we get it. You're making Satan jokes. All right, there you go, buddy.
Here's some horns for you. Yeah, no,
fucking, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about it. Like, because all he did was break some glass, right? And threw some bacon in, right? Is that essentially what happened?
Yeah, he broke the glass and threw the bacon in.
Yeah, that's on the list of crimes. 15 years for that is absolutely ridiculous. He's got to win something on appeal there, I would think.
I would think that on an appeals court they would challenge it based on cruel and unusual punishment.
Right. Yeah.
Like this clearly exceeds any reasonable punishment for the crime that was committed.
Yeah.
And it'll probably get reduced sentence like after that. But it's going to take a year or two to find. Like we won't hear about it. It probably won't even make the news.
Right. Yep. Shit's getting weird.
Yep. Well, and then my concern is the difference between the United States and Europe is the United States is armed.
Right.
You're not going to get the same kind of violence for any prolonged amount of time in the United States that you are in Europe. So Europe is, in a lot of these areas, they don't even have really any access to guns on the same level. Oh, Akinaro's out. See you, man. I missed that.
No, he just typed it in because I was just typing a reply.
Oh, okay. See you, Akinaro. But I think if they try to do the same thing in the U.S., it's going to go, and it's going to go to like fucking untold amounts of fucking blood in the street.
Right.
Because that shit's only gonna be allowed for so long. I mean, if they keep it in like the really big cities, it might be tolerated for a while. But the second that shit starts getting into rural areas, people are just gonna start killing them.
Right.
You know, like that's it's not gonna fucking happen.
No, I can't imagine. Yeah, it's fucking really bizarre, dude.
Yeah.
That shit's allowed to fester like that.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It only works in the EU because I think the average citizen doesn't have guns.
Yeah, they're extremely limited in their access to guns, man. It's yeah.
But like,
yeah,
honestly,
you can't
man,
just like tell everybody, "Hey, round up the guns. We're gonna go clear this shit out," because there's not anywhere near enough people with fucking guns to do it, dude. Yeah.
Well, and they know that the police will actively stop them. I don't know that the police in the United States would actively stop it if it got as bad as it is in Europe.
Yeah. No, they would probably stand down, dude. Especially if you have, because again, there's not going to be anywhere near enough cops to stop a fucking mob like that.
Some of them would probably be wearing fucking masks in the crowd at the mob, taking the law into their own hands.
Yeah.
In all honesty, like you probably have some fucking sheriffs and some cops up in there. Because I mean, this is the kind of thing like this. These things have happened in the U.S. before, where like literally everybody gets to a point where they're just like, all right, we're taking the guns, we're gonna settle this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it happened in some very corrupt areas where some boat fixing was going on and all that kind of shit. So
yeah. Occasionally, people do get fucking roused enough to actually do that kind of shit.
Well, and here's
I don't
the
know.
thing.
What worries me is people might be too complacent nowadays.
In the cities, yes.
Right.
But my thing is, how many women raped before and with no fucking charges before the people in the country are like, all right, let's just get everybody together and clear it out. You know, like
yeah, this is true, man.
Especially if it's a prominent member of the farming community, like one of their kids.
Right. Yeah, and especially in those communities, everybody knows everybody anyway. So almost everyone qualifies as prominent in those areas. You know what I mean? So yeah, I could definitely see that fucking, like, oh, we haven't had a lynching in forever, but it's about to fucking go down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll see some white sheets coming back, and it won't be about black people because there'll probably be a lot of black people wearing them too.
Right.
It's that bad, but
it would be funny to have a bunch of black members of the KKK.
They'd probably rebrand it and have different costumes. I mean, let's be honest, they're not gonna be the KKK. It's gonna be something else. It's gonna be like the fucking United States fucking Civilian Defense League or something.
Yeah. It's going to be an egalitarian group.
It's going to be like the CDL, Citizens Defense League or something.
Right.
They'll name it something friendly sounding because that generally seems to be how the sort of things go.
Right.
At least these days.
Can't call them the unofficial lynch mob or some name like that. That's just not going to. That's. It's just not media friendly, dude.
You fucking imagine the fucking press on that. The unofficial lynch mob has struck again.
Yeah.
But it's like that, I mean, like, legit, if somebody in my family was raped by a bunch of dudes, we knew exactly who did it. The police arrested them and just let them go. I'd kill them.
Yeah. And not fucking quickly either, dude. I'd fucking torture
I wouldn't do it. I would do it quickly. I would just take them out as easily and as safely as possible.
No, I'd torture them, dude.
Nah, I don't see a point.
I do.
That is dead. And then I'd leave their heads on the fucking police's doorstep.
Fuck that, dude. Well, that part, yeah, but yeah, I would not. I would want to fucking torture them. I would want to make them suffer, dude, before they fucking died.
I would think that there's too much chance for evidence to be left behind Because my ultimate goal would be to make sure that nobody could prove it.
Oh, right.
And also, if you're talking about multiple people, because in a lot of these cases, it's 3 or 4 people, like gang raping people. I would want to. There's no way you're gonna. It would take too long to get people alone. Whereas if you have an accurate rifle and you're from a distance and they're all out in an open area, you could probably get them all before they manage to get away.
Yeah, I guess it depends on circumstances.
Yeah.
If I thought I could pull it off, I would torture the shit out of them. But if not, I would just a quick bullet to the head would be a reasonable alternative, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if we got shoots, you really want to make it last a little bit. Sorry, my fucking.
Yeah, but I would rather maybe burn their fucking junk off, shove a hot poker up their ass, that kind of thing. If there's time.
There's a fucking movie about that. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a dude who's like he works for the CIA as like unofficially for the CIA kind of thing, and some people break into his house and rape and kill his wife and his daughter in front of him and almost kill him, and like they let him out after like 5 years, and the guy basically like kidnaps and tortures him to death.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's a proper response, dude. Yeah. Although the one thing, if you got like 4 of them, or 4 or 5, like a gang like that, if you started offering them and having them disappear one by one, the other ones would be fucking terrified.
After the first one, the police are going to arrest you, and it's going to be harder, and they're going to be watching.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm smart enough to pull it off without getting arrested.
See, I don't think I am. I figure you get them all at once.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be risky, and you're probably in the end you're probably right. I'd probably just fucking
and it's a rational and reasonable response though. Like I understand the emotions behind it, absolutely.
Right.
It's not like I wouldn't want to. It's just I want to make sure that they all pay.
Yeah, that's true.
Without me going to jail too, like I would, if I was in that situation. And so it blows my mind that kind of doesn't happen in the UK. Because you can get your hands on knives and stuff.
Yeah. No, they're too. I think they just consider themselves too civilized for that kind of thing.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
It's a weird situation. It's really, really bizarre.
Yeah.
Although we have a benefit that Trump pulled us out of the European group that was we were part of a refugee group. He pulled us out of it altogether, so we're not taking refugees at this point. And refugees from all the countries that we don't want.
Right.
So that's definitely a benefit.
Yeah, that was nice of the Supreme Court to uphold that and let the ban.
It was nice of them to uphold it, considering it's pretty fucking obviously written directly like that in the Constitution.
Right. Yeah, but again, that didn't stop the lower courts from doing it.
True. I mean? Yeah. True. Well, that's why I was saying that the thing with the enterprise is probably a political maneuver.
Yeah.
Because it's been a constant political things with judges. The judges playing politics. But on to something more cheerful.
And again,
go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say real quick that it really is almost certainly the fact that those are a bunch of fucking upper middle class, spoiled fucking white kids.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure that's part of it.
Parents, I guarantee that's a big chunk of it too.
Yeah, I have no doubt. It's all part of it.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Get the microphone with my hand. Yeah. Let's see here. So this is in San Francisco. The SPCA has had to get a robot to stop the homeless from making encampments on their property. And the Nightscope K5 essentially it patrols the parking lots and has lasers. I'm assuming to measure and decide whether or not tents and shit are being put up.
Right.
And then one of the machines was what was it? They put a tarp over it, knocked it over, and covered all the sensors in barbecue sauce.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
And the police are getting upset about it, and it's just like, well, hey, fucking, then how about you do your job and keep them from setting up tent cities on the private property?
Yeah,
You know, the SPCA is a nonprofit, but they shouldn't have to be spending all this money on robots to keep homeless people from camping on their fucking land.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Hey, and here's the thing, man. If they were making encampments on like BLM land or state land, I wouldn't have it as much of a concern.
Right.
You know, like that would make sense.
But yeah, private property, that's, a lot different.
Yeah, and they're threatening the SPCA with if the robot ends up on the sidewalk or any other public right of way without some sort of permit, which doesn't make sense to me because it's not a stationary thing.
Right.
And people can walk around it, so it's not impeding anybody.
Yeah.
But they want to put a fine of like $1,000 per day or something.
Jesus.
But having like a robot security guard makes sense. You know, nobody's going to die, and it can inform the police if something inappropriate is going on, and you can have people monitoring it. So people still have jobs. You know, I mean, to me, it makes as much sense as having like a drone. Like, it's much better to not have our soldiers at risk and take out the enemy if we can.
Right. Yeah. You have a cop could easily get overwhelmed by these people. Like, if he's trying to clear out a whole fucking tent city worth of bums, they're gonna fucking jump his ass, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why the police generally don't put a stop to the encampments. In fact, there's a dollar store in my town that's in a big parking lot that used to be a grocery store, and they tore down the grocery store and put up a dollar store. So there's a huge section of property behind the store that's open. And basically it's sort of like a weird quasi parking lot, just empty lot kind of thing behind the store that's owned by the dollar store. But they constantly have homeless encampments going up there, and people being extremely rude and aggressive, trying to get money from people when they're walking into the store.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, it's Matt Meadow. Good to see you, man. And robot security guards is a fucking brilliant idea, especially if it keeps them out.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because that shouldn't be happening. There should, it sucks for the people that are homeless. They should all be able to find a fucking spot to stay that's not on private property.
There's in my town, I can go to probably easily. I can think of a dozen places where they can camp offhand that they're basically on public property and they're not going to be bothering anyone.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of other places to go. And I think, honestly, it would make sense if maybe they set aside some of the areas of BLM and put like some porta potties out there and some showers. And just said, hey, look, we're not going to fucking interfere if people are camping here.
Right. Yeah, it could be a pretty minimal cost. You know what I mean?
And when especially considering that we just had the fires that wiped out, a few hundred homes.
Right.
I've seen a lot of RVs parked around that people are I'm pretty sure people are living in because their houses burnt down.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about the Southern California fires, but nobody really fucking said anything about the Northern California fires.
Right.
But yeah,
it was
people from that,
really fucking drastic shit. I'm more focused on that probably because I know you and you fucking live right there.
Yeah.
But I haven't really paid attention to the ones in Hollywood or whatever.
Oh, they're pretty bad in Hollywood too, man. It's real bad in both. They were both bad.
Right.
I have friends in Southern California, so I was concerned for them.
Gotcha.
Oh, wait, no, do I not? I think I might not have friends in Southern California. I think all those people moved out to like fucking other states.
Yeah, fuck SoCal.
Yeah, fuck Southern California now, man.
Yeah, except San Diego. Everything north of Carlsbad can burn.
Yeah, I'm down with that. No, I have family they're more like Eastern California than Southern.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Like I said, anything if it gets into Carlsbad or San Diego County, then I'll be sad because I love that place, or that whole area.
Oh,
But
Steve Trevor, you used to live in Isla Vista. I know I've known people that lived in that area, Santa Barbara, not Isla Vista, but
yeah. Santa Barbara, that's up. Where the fuck is? I know I've been in that area. It's north. Isn't it north of LA? Isn't Santa Barbara north of LA
I'm pretty sure.
or northern edge of LA? I remember the land kind of juts out east or west a little bit, and then it was right around that area. But again, I could be fucking completely misremembering shit.
I'm looking it
I
up.
gotta look it up. Yeah, me too. Yeah, we're both looking it up now.
Let's see here. It looks like it's a little north, mostly west of Los Angeles.
All right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like the land, I thought I remember the land kind of jutting out west, like because most of the coastline is north south. But then it seemed like that part it kind of. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lompoc. So I think there's a military base.
South of like Monterey, I'm pretty much down with burning.
All right.
It's cool with me. Cool with me, man. Cool with me.
Yeah. You know where? Are you familiar with Morro Bay?
With what bay?
There's a place called Morro Bay, Morro Bay.
No, not really.
It's a pretty small little town, but I was trying to take one time. It must have been my mid-20s. I was trying to take a trip up the Pacific Coast Highway, and I made it as far as there before I started having car trouble. But it was a crazy little town, and it looks like there's like this huge rock out in the bay that reminds me of the Prudential Rock from the Prudential commercials. Yeah. That's why I don't know why, but it always stuck in my head.
That's right next to
that area there.
We used to, when I was blues dancing, we always had the Slow Kids show up, which were from San Luis Obispo.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
We used to call them the Slow Kids because SLO, San Luis Obispo. There's some college near there. I forget. That might actually be San Luis Obispo College, but they used to show up in San Francisco all the time for dancing. San Francisco.
Yeah, nice.
Which is a pretty fucking considerable distance. It's not a good 2-3 hour drive, but they used to just trek up every so often. It was very interesting. Slow Kids were pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, now I'm trying to figure out where Morro Bay is in relation to everything else. Oh yeah, well, like you said, San Luis Obispo. All right, so I didn't really get that far up the coast. I got close enough. I got close enough where it said that it had signs saying how far away San Francisco was, and I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's as close as I got.
Pretty cool, man. I dig Highway 1. I've driven a lot of different sections of it because I love the coast, so it's nice to go out and drive it. Yeah, and like I said, I'm like half an hour from the beach, 45 minutes from the beach if you're driving legally.
Right.
I don't speed a lot, but there's a lot of roads where there's just no one on it, so there's no reason not to be going at least a little bit over the speed limit.
Yeah. No, I was really disappointed because I had basically 2 weeks off, and I wanted to fucking drive up the coast, and all the way up into Washington. I wanted to fucking drive along the coast as far as I could, and then I was actually planning on cutting inland and trying to get through like Montana and shit.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, like the what do you call it, through the Beartooth Mountains. Like there's a lot of really scenic shit. Like if you look at through Montana and Wyoming and all that shit. I think I wanted to hit up Yellowstone. I think that was one of my goals too. But yeah, as soon as I got to pretty much where the Pacific Coast Highway started is right when I had fucking started having fucking engine trouble and had to turn around and fucking make it back home.
Yeah,
really disappointing.
Some videos of some of the roads around here where I drive. Not all the time, but just some of the roads you can drive around here are just fucking amazing. Like they're super beautiful roads to drive on. Like just giant forests. Some of the wine country you can drive through where you're just driving through all these different sort of farmland areas with like the vineyards. That's what I was looking at. The vineyards on either sides of the road.
Oh, gotcha.
There's one crazy road I drove out on. It's got like 20 or 30 fucking vineyards.
Oh, gotcha. Nice.
Like it's not 20 or 30, like 10 or 15. I was exaggerating there. 10 or 15 is still a lot of fucking vineyards. But essentially, like it's sort of like a wine road, essentially, where people will just go and rent vehicles and drive and go from one place to the next, tasting wine at all of them and getting just wasted.
Right.
And the really fucked up thing about this road is it's also a big logging road. So you've got drunk fucking wine tasters that go out there, and sometimes they'll rent cars and get drivers. Sometimes they'll just rent cars from out of, drive down on their own.
Right.
And you also got like these big semis hauling logs going insane. I mean, this is a super windy road, and they're going like 40, 50 miles an hour in these big logging rigs.
God damn, dude.
There's always fatalities on that road. It's so bad.
Yeah. No, that sounds like a recipe for disaster, dude. It's just a lot of bad shit coming together.
Yeah, I drove down it because there was a thing way out on the coast up in the redwoods, way north of me, for like a swing dancing event that I went and stayed for a week at. But like, I just was looking at this going, this is the worst thing ever. And then I looked it up when I got home, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's fucking deaths there every year. I'm like, yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, you get fucking a bunch of drunk yuppies and fucking a bunch of loggers fucking hauling ass. Nobody says yuppies anymore. I don't know why the fuck I said yuppies.
It's fairly accurate statement, though.
Right. I like the term. I don't know why. I just fucking always love the term yuppie. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Is it UC Santa Barbara? Is that the one that has the banana slugs as their fucking mascot?
The banana slugs? Santa Barbara? I don't think it's Santa Barbara. I think you're thinking Humboldt.
Yeah, it could be. No, well, Stench Everett said something about UCSB, so I was like, is that the one? The fucking banana slug is their fucking mascot. But I must be confusing it with something else.
Well, the one you're talking about is in Northern California, and UCSB is in Southern.
Yeah, okay. Hold on, it's going to drive me nuts. I got to look this up. I got to know which one it was.
I want to say that one's actually fairly close to me. Like, I've heard about it many a time.
Let's see. Sammy the Slug. University of... Oh, Santa Cruz.
Santa
That's
Cruz,
right.
Okay.
Okay. Santa Cruz, Santa Barbara. Same thing. That'll piss people off. Same.
Southern California, I think, technically. I'm not sure.
Santa Cruz is just outside of... isn't it right there by San Jose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite Southern California, but it's getting there.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. There we go.
It's well south of San Francisco. It's a couple hours if I want to drive there, like 2 hours, I think.
Yeah. All right. That mystery solved.
Yay. Oh, this was interesting. So I'm not sure how accurate this story is. Some of it's probably just sour grapes. But I've seen a lot of people making a lot of allegations of, voting fraud in Alabama. And so I think this just goes to like further make me think that we really need voting ID laws in states.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, man, that there really should be some more stringent requirements.
Well, we know for a fact. They supposedly there's evidence of at least 12,000 people that were dead voting for Jones.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't know the accuracy of this article, so I couldn't say that this is accurate or not. But if we had federal voting IDs that people got that were free voting ID that just verified who you were,
Yeah.
It would be wonderful. And the people that can't get out, I want laws in place that people can't bus voters in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculously easy to get
Mm.
vote by mail. I mean, that's what I do. But the thing is, you have to prove who you are, and you can only get one vote. You can't get, because you have to have an address. You can't get, you can't have all the 50 people that, you can't vote 50 different times at the same address. They're going to find out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's why, like, if you have some kind of voter ID card, there should be something attached to it that should send off. Like, if you try to use it at a second or third or fourth or fifth place, that it fucking, alerts somebody and like, hey, no, this guy already voted.
Yeah, and then you go to jail.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. This is something that should not be fucking skimped on. No matter how much it costs, we should be ensuring that this gets done right. It's kind of important to have a proper fucking, fair election in this country.
Well, and we know for a fact that there's something like how many illegal aliens we have in the country? Like at least 11 million.
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 3 times that amount.
Yeah, exactly.
They're admitting to 11. I'm sure it's probably like 20. But
yeah, it's probably at least to double that. Yeah.
We know for a fact that there's that many illegal people. How many of those people are voting?
Yeah.
And of all the people that should have a say in who gets to be in what elected office, those are not the people we want to have a say.
Yeah, exactly.
They have a voice in it at all.
No, that's why you get fucking sheriffs like you have in Maricopa County that are referring to the fucking illegal aliens as our guests. Like, that's so goddamn ridiculous to me, dude. It's fucking sickening.
But I would like to see voter ID laws. I mean, at the very least, require like a state ID or a driver's license.
Right. Yeah. Or again, even if it's a completely separate card, but yeah, there should be something where you can make you can ensure that somebody doesn't vote more than once. Like you have to have a card that you run through, and then it'll say, hey, this person already voted, or something like that. And I would really like to see the voting itself. Again, you can do the electronic, but I would really like to see a thing where something prints out and the person can look at it and say, yes, those are who I voted for, and then that goes into a fucking thing.
No, I'd rather see paper ballots for it all.
Yeah.
I don't want electric voting.
Yeah, especially because yeah, this is true. Yeah, even if it's going to take a lot longer.
Yeah, right now one of the things. Well, I'm fine with it taking a little longer to count. I mean, we don't need to know who won 2 seconds after the fucking close of the ballots.
Yeah, exactly. They don't get sworn in for another, for months until months later anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like to see a lot of this contentiousness over like, was the vote rigged? Did illegal people vote? How many dead people voted? I'd like to see that resolved so that that's not coming up again and again. At least not with as much reasonable concern as we have.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And our ideas, or my ideas, are probably fucking stupid and not irrational, but what's the word?
Having a printout from the thing is fine. Get a printout. It should be what's counted, not electronic votes.
Yeah, no, I was talking more about the like the ID thing. Like that might be a little extreme and untenable, but I don't know. Maybe not. Well, but anyways, there's smart people that should be able to fucking figure this shit out, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, like in Mexico, they actually have a voter ID.
Right? Yeah.
You're issued a voter ID. You send off for it, same as you would your driver's license or your state ID. It's no more expensive or more difficult to get.
Yeah.
You just have to prove who you are, and you only get to vote once.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for, man. I think people should have to be able to prove that they're a United States citizen over the age of 18 and only get to vote one time in each election.
Yeah. And the penalty for any kind of voter fraud should be incredibly high. Like, it should be ridiculously high, dude.
I think 5 years would be the max that I would be okay with.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess. But, it should be fucking prison at least, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no,
Like
you
they
should
should at
have to
least
do
be
some
served
time.
time, and it's not like a fucking little fine or something.
Well, and
Like
it
should be
should
serious.
escalate. Like if you do it once, you know, you maybe you get like 2 or 3 years. If you do it a second time, then you get like 5 to 10.
Yeah, 3 strikes you're out, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
sort
if
of
you're
like it
dumb enough
keeps
to,
getting worse and worse. Yeah,
yeah, if you're dumb
unless
enough to
you're an
do it a
illegal
third
alien.
time.
If you're an illegal alien and found to be voting in one of our elections, I think they should put you in jail for like 20 years.
Mm. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, that's so fucking awful. Like you're literally like acting as a foreign,
Yeah, exactly. It's a foreign agent.
yeah, foreign agent. Dude. Yeah, that's
We find
fucking
you guilty
bullshit.
of espionage and put you in jail for 20 years before we deport you.
All right. Yeah, and not one of the nice federal prisons either, fucker. We're gonna put you in Tent City.
Yeah. I like that idea though. I know people think that's awful, but like that's pretty reasonable, man. It's like, hey, look, we've got a huge surfeit of illegals. Why not save as much money as we can by not trying to make them comfortable?
Yeah, make them really fucking, make them really suffer for it if they get busted. You know,
Yeah.
make them think twice about coming across illegally again.
Yeah, make it really like a punishment.
Yeah, like a good 6 months or so in Tent City in the middle of fucking summer in Arizona.
They don't need to fucking get a first class ticket back to Mexico and the vegan meal and a fucking scotch. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Yeah.
or wherever.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem.
Wherever it is,
The world's getting too civilized.
Well, I'm fine with the rest of the world being civilized, but I think that especially like places like Mexico, like a good portion of the people that could be working to make Mexico a better country and build their economy and improve it are illegally in the United States right now because that's where the more money is. So it's like if they had 11 million more working people, they could probably do a lot better for their country.
Yeah, perhaps.
Well, no,
you would think.
Yeah, it's sort of like I think the Syrian I forget what his name is. The guy in charge of Syria was like, "Look, if you guys take all of our citizens." All of our young citizens, like, what the fuck are we going to do when the war's over? How are we going to rebuild without our citizens? Like, you can't take everybody from Syria and then expect us to ever be able to recover from this.
Yeah. Was it Bashar al-Assad, I think his name is? Is that right?
Yeah, something like that. But, I mean, it's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
I'd much rather see us encouraging and helping other countries to improve themselves than just take people left and right, destroying our own culture.
Yeah.
That's just me. And I don't think people understand. Like, there's probably not a lot of people who are as anti, illegal immigration as I am that are not like super like I don't fucking like them Mexicans. But like, let's be fair. I mean, there's really rational reasons for it.
Yeah, no, there are plenty of Mexicans that are here legally that fucking hate illegal aliens, dude.
Yeah, no, I know.
Pretty high percentage, dude.
There's a lot of white people who kind of ruin the argument because they're just like, oh, I fucking hate them dirty spics, kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the all right. You're not fucking helping, man. Like, you're not helping.
Yeah, you're making shit worse, dude. Calm down.
Man, it's like you're making us all look bad because not everybody wants this because of racist reasons like you.
Mm.
Let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what was it? Oh, this was an interesting one. That actually I thought was a little weird. They're investigating Planned Parenthood. The FBI is possibly looking into criminal issues of them selling fetus parts and tissue for profit. And if that's the case, that's an extreme conflict of interest and extremely not good because they also counsel people on whether or not to get abortions. So if they're counseling some poor 19-year-old girl on whether or not she should get an abortion and there's a financial incentive for her to get one for them.
Right.
They're gonna make money if she gets one, like way more money.
Right.
Like that's pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible, dude. Yeah,
it's not about being pro-life or pro-choice. It's about like that's really not an okay situation at all.
Yeah. No, and I don't doubt that must happen. Like where they're fucking, literally like a black market for fucking, stem cells and that kind of shit.
Well, this isn't even like black market sales. This is just flat out selling it altogether. There's no medical. It's medical research centers are buying it, like on the up and up.
No, I get that. I mean, I know they do that, but they're not supposed to make a profit.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is I can definitely see like an employee or employees selling that shit like out the back door or wherever. You know what I mean? Like unofficially selling it for a lot more money.
It could be the case. It could also be more of a case of lying about whether or not they're making a profit, or they're disguising the profit in other ways.
Oh, right. They're embezzling or not embezzling, whatever, laundering it.
So essentially, somebody gets a bonus of like $50,000 because they charged more money, type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
They're disguising it in the form of like bonuses and wages and raises and stuff like that.
Yeah,
realistically, it's directly profiting from that. It's not going to like the owner of Planned Parenthood in the same way. But they're getting a bonus for all their hard work.
Right, for their hard work and dedication. Yeah. No, that would be fucking sad to see, man. But I don't doubt that it happens. I wouldn't be surprised, I should say. Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting. It's something to keep an eye on because it's not really getting a lot of attention in the news.
Well, no, of course not.
Because that's a really kind of creepy thing that might happen. Like, I really would like to know if, how many women end up getting abortions after counseling from Planned Parenthood that may not have needed to get an abortion or not wanted to prior.
Right. Yeah. Ones that got talked into it, like fucking hardcore talked into it. Yeah.
And how much money did people make off of it? Are we talking millions? Are we talking, more than that? I don't know. That's pretty disturbing. If it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. There are allegations so far. No proof yet.
Yeah, and again, most of the media is kind of left leaning, so you're probably not going to hear about it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, so what's weird to me is, like, I get the people that are pro-choice and I get the people that are pro-life, but what I don't understand is people who are like, how do you justify pulling a baby out that could live and then putting a spike through it and calling that an abortion?
No, the late-term
abortion is pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. I actually, I was basically like pro-choice. I still am, but not as staunch as it used to be. But when I was younger, I was just
the first trimester, the second trimester on should be off limits in my mind. Like, I don't agree with that at all.
That's the thing is, I never really thought about that, and I didn't know about it. Exactly what that entailed. But I worked one day at literally one day because I couldn't go back. But I worked at this like telemarketing place when I first moved up to Phoenix when I was like 17, 18, whatever.
Yeah.
And basically that's what they were doing was raising funds, raising money to fight late-term abortions. And they basically had to, I don't know if they had to, but they did tell us exactly what that entailed. And I was like,
fuck, like they reach up with tongs, pull the baby out that's fighting to stay in, and spike it through the fucking neck, the base of the skull.
Right. Yeah, basically like even the kind of earlier late term ones where basically they go in, like it's already got, the baby's already got arms and legs and shit.
Oh, the ones where they go in and basically like break it apart and then pull it out.
Yeah, they crush the fucking skull. Yeah, they crush the skull and then pull out the pieces, piece by piece, dude. Like they pull out the arm.
If you have to kill the baby inside because otherwise it wouldn't die outside, that's not abortion anymore in my mind.
Yeah, but the real late term ones that you're talking about, where they basically have to deliver the kid like feet first, and they have to get it all the way out except for the head.
Yeah,
and they can stab it in the fucking neck, and kill it, dude. Like, that's fucking barbaric, dude.
Well, and I think the reason they leave the head in is because for legal purposes, but also because it would probably be crying.
Yeah, but it's so fucking disturbing. You're like, okay, so just because it's almost all the way out, but just the head's in, it's still okay to kill that fucking baby.
To me, that's murder, and it's pretty blatant murder, and it's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is I remember shortly after that happened, I was trying to explain that to somebody who was pro-choice, and they would not fucking hear it, dude. They refused to listen. They were literally like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. They would not listen to what I had to say.
Yeah.
And I was trying to explain to them, I'm like, look, I understand. I used to be like that. And then I found this out, and they still completely shut me down and would not let me fucking talk.
There's a huge difference between like a Plan B pill or somebody who's going after like month 2 and getting an abortion and somebody at like month 6 or 7. You know, like that's a really drastic difference.
Yeah. No, I was like, I can't work here. I'm sorry. Like, I just didn't go back. I'm like, I can't do this, dude. I can't think about this shit every day. I'm like, you guys call me up, I'll probably fucking donate to you, but I'm sorry, I cannot fucking do this as my job.
Dude. Oh, yeah, dealing with that on a daily basis is pretty brutal.
Yeah, having to think about that shit every fucking day.
Well,
no.
You know, that's why I don't do mental health work where you have to get physical with people, like where they do like takedowns and restraints and stuff.
Right.
No, I couldn't handle that. That's too much.
Yeah.
I definitely couldn't handle working somewhere where I had to talk about abortion every day. That would fucking ruin me.
Yeah. You know, I was glad I had the info because, again, before that, I didn't think about abortion that intensely at all and what it actually entailed. So I was glad I had that information. But yeah, I could not do it as a fucking job, dude.
Well, I recently found out my mom had an abortion before she had me.
Oh, wow.
And she said, like, after I had you, there's no way I could ever have gotten an abortion after that. Like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
I'd actually been told all my life prior to this that it was a miscarriage.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to find out.
Yeah, it was
38 years old.
But it definitely, like 37 years old, you find out. But it was definitely interesting because it did affect my point of view of abortion. So I used to be just like pro-choice and I'd not really think about it. But then it's like, I really need to like fucking look into that and have a little more nuanced sort of opinion than just pro-choice or pro-life. Like there's a lot more involved here.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing is I pro-choice, although it would never be my choice if it was up to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would never choose to have my child killed, regardless of the circumstances, or pretty much regardless of the circumstances. But like, what I don't understand, and I guess that kind of like people don't understand that. Like, what do you mean you're pro-choice, but you would never choose abortion? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's not that weird, but the thing that really bugs me and fucking creeps me out is the people that are fucking like celebrate abortion. Like it's a fucking like, abortion, yay! Like what the fuck is wrong with you people? I don't get that at all, dude. Like people being proud of getting abortions or getting multiple abortions, or you know what I'm talking about, right? Like people that they're actually like celebrating it, like abortion. Yeah, that's great. Fucking abortion.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like have parties and shit.
Yeah, it's disturbing, dude. It's like you guys are obviously not thinking this shit through. What you're actually doing if you're that celebratory over something like that.
Yeah,
you're fucking
it's a little
sick.
Bizarre.
Yeah, it's really sickening.
I'm happy. Sorry, I just have to be happy. My computer finally shipped.
Yeah, nice. Oh, is that the one that's been sitting in somewhere nearby for forever?
No, it's the one that they've been putting together forever because it's like Christmas time. So I'm sure, like, because I got a custom made. I didn't get like a standard model. Like I put some upgrades in.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's like for whatever reason the computer shipped. It's like a desktop computer, and it shipped with no disk drive. Standard.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like $20. You add like a DVD player, DVD writer kind of thing. It's like, oh yeah, well I think I'll add that on, and I'll make the memory. I'll upgrade that a little bit, and I'll
Right.
Download a bunch of pluses, and suddenly you're paying $1,500 instead of like $1,300.
Yeah. No, I remember doing that, but that it's been a long time since I bought. Last time I bought a computer, I think it was right when I moved up to Flagstaff. So that would have been like 01, 02. But no, I did the same thing. Added a bunch of fucking upgrades and shit. Yeah, it was funny, like, because I didn't know a whole lot about computers, but I had friends that did. When it came, I was all fucking pissed off. I'm like, where's my CD burner? Like, I thought it was actually a separate thing. I didn't realize it was just built into the fucking tower.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude, they mocked me for a long time after that, dude.
Oh, I bet they were like, all right, come on now. Something was.
I literally thought it was like a separate little thing. I didn't realize it was just part of the tower, dude.
Oh, yeah, man, that is funny. No, see, the weird thing was, I thought it was strange that they wouldn't include like a DVD player, DVD writer as part of the thing. Like, I understand that for like a Blu-ray, because that's a little more expensive, but like you wouldn't get just like the ability to play DVDs on a tower. Like, why? Like, I get that not everybody's going to watch movies on their computer, but like it's going to be a pretty common thing.
Yeah.
It's a gaming computer, so like, what do you do besides game?
Yeah, that is a little weird if one is geared for gaming that you don't think they're going to want to. Although I guess maybe they're just trying to keep the cost low, and if you want it, you're fucking at it.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah. Well, I mean, the computer I bought was because it was the Cyber Monday thing was like $500 off. So I was like, I'm pretty happy. So like, as far as like, how long it takes to get to me, like fucking, I'll wait. It's
yeah. Get a nice little discount. You'll wait a little bit.
Yeah, $500. I'll fucking damn straight. I'll wait an extra week.
Yeah, and actually, that stuff is not nearly as bad as it used to be, as far as how long it takes to fucking process an order and ship it. Like, shit, 10 years ago, that was a fucking nightmare. Like, if you didn't get it by December 1st, if you didn't order it by December 1st, you weren't getting it until after Christmas. Until after the New Year, a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like,
what's kind of nice is we don't have any little kids anymore that we're buying for as far as Christmas gifts. Yeah. So if you do end up getting something too late and it's not going to be there till after Christmas, nobody's really put out.
Yeah.
But I agree. That used to be a really big issue with ordering online, probably like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and now shit, a lot of places like you can probably order it a week before and still get it in a few days. Oh
yeah.
Like there's still going to be a lot of shit like yours or that kind of thing, but most of the big companies have gotten really good about processing and shipping orders.
Well, and it's really interesting to see how Black Friday is being affected by the online. Like Cyber Monday is probably making a lot more money than Black Friday is.
Yeah.
Black Friday just keeps getting more and more desperate. Like, we're going to open 2 days before we're going to stay open for 36 hours straight.
Yeah, we're opening on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that shit was fucking gross.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
I really wish they'd make a law where anything that's not essential. Like, I still understand. I wouldn't even mind seeing like convenience stores have to close down for these holidays, but I understand why they don't. But yeah, I would really like it to be like not optional.
I don't want it to be mandated by law. I think that's the government getting too into it. Like, I understand the point.
I think you should have to pay your employees a shitload of money, dude. Like, it should be like four times their salary or something if they have to work on that day.
There should definitely be holiday pay.
Yeah, but I think for those ones, it should be so high, so prohibitive that they don't want to stay open. You know what I mean?
I don't know if holiday pay is mandated, though, is it?
I don't know if it is or not. Yeah, it might not be. I think overtime is, but I don't know that holiday pay is.
I'm curious. I'm going to look that up. I've been union for a long time, so I haven't really thought about it for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think it should be, like I said, if you're having to work on those days, because I think
they're not required to pay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, if you work for a decent company, you're going to get Again, at least time and a half, if not more. Because I think we got double time or even double time and a half if we had to work on.
The one thing about holiday pay that I do know is bullshit is overtime. They don't have to pay you overtime separately. So if you work on a holiday and you work 12 hours, they just pay you 12 hours of holiday pay. They don't have to pay you an extra half of your hourly wage because of the overtime.
Yeah.
So say your time and a half is your holiday pay and your overtime rate. If you work 12 hours on a holiday, they still only have to pay you 12 hours of time and a half. They don't have to pay you 12 hours or 8 hours of time and a half and 4 hours of double time.
Yeah. No, that should definitely add a stack.
Yeah,
where you're getting both. Yeah.
But because holiday pay is not required by law, and technically you're covering whatever overtime pay would be, it doesn't count. I've had that happen to me a couple times.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
Granted, let's be fair. Granted, those were times when I was working a sleepover nights. So essentially, I came in 2 hours early, and I didn't get an overtime separate from holiday pay. I just got holiday pay.
No, gotcha.
So I wasn't freaked out by it, but I could imagine other people in other jobs being like, "Well, fuck you too, buddy."
Yeah, any retail job, fucking, where you're really having to bust your ass, and where you're going for fucking 12 hours straight, just hustling.
I worked a 32-hour shift once, man.
Yeesh.
I came in, worked an evening shift, went to sleep, worked the full day, and then did another sleep overnight. Yeah. Actually, that might have been a 40-hour shift. I don't remember. But let me tell you, you get time and a half for 12 hours, and then after 12 hours, everything is double time to another point at which it becomes triple time.
Nice.
So they paid me almost like a month's worth of wages for one shift.
Yeah, but they kind of have to, right?
Legally they had no option.
Yeah.
Yeah. They tried to fucking skirt around it, but I got the union involved.
Nice.
Because it was at the end of the week, and they're like, "Oh, well, this is the next week," and I'm like, "No, it's all contiguous. You don't get to do that."
Right. Nice try, asshole.
Yeah.
Dude,
some reason they think that Sunday is this magical reset button. Where if you're working 8 hours say you're working, come into work at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night, and you work 2 hours, and then it continues on into Sunday morning, and you work another 8 hours. They think they don't have to pay you the 2 hours of overtime.
All right.
Because you worked a 10-hour shift because it resets in their mind on Sunday night. And it's no, that's completely illegal. You don't.
Right.
That's not a reset switch for the middle of a shift.
Yeah, no, that's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but though, again, I'm sure they know that. They're just trying to fucking save themselves money. Fucking assholes.
Oh, they had to pay me a bunch of money. But, it's just, it's why would you think that that's okay? Now they have a company that does the whole thing for them.
Oh, right.
Which is great because I never have to deal with that bullshit anymore. There's no creative accounting going on. Because that company's we're going to pay by the letter of the law every time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and since it's not their money, they're not going to give a shit to try to fucking break the law.
Oh, because it's not their money, and they're legally obligated to probably make good because of any issues that come up with the law. They have more of an incentive to follow the law than not because they don't want to get fined and have to pay the company and some other employee a bunch of extra money because they fucked up.
Yeah, plus they could easily get shut down if they're fucking doing shit like that. And
too much, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. If you didn't get paid to sleep, it wouldn't be there anymore.
Right. I hear you.
Here we go. I thought this was kind of cool. I'm hoping this keeps going too. I don't think it's going to last very long past his presidency. Once blocking the transgender military recruits.
Oh, right.
I think once he's done his full 8 years, that's probably not going to. Because I think he's going to get voted in another 4.
Right.
I think once he gets his full 8 years, it's gonna go away. But It would have been better if you'd made it so that there was no way to charge for gender reassignment surgery or any of the byproducts of that, because that's what people are going in for.
Yeah, they're doing it deliberately to get their surgery paid for.
Yeah, they're not going to serve the country. They're just going in to hopefully get some like paper pushing job and free medical care while they do their transgender surgery. And it's totally not what the military's for.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Misuse of the gross abuse of the system, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is it just a trick of the light, or was that really showing his toupee line on that picture?
Oh yeah, it actually does show it pretty good. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell here because I got a shitty fucking display, but I was like, is there really just a line? Like, it looks like you can see the line of his fucking toupee. Damn.
Let's see here.
You see it? You see what I'm talking about? Or is it just like a lighter hair happens to be right there?
I don't know why it's not moving after I fucking blew it up. Like, there we go. All right.
No, it was zooming in.
No, it wasn't going. It wasn't scrolling with my scroll wheel.
Oh, I gotcha.
Doing weird shit.
Right. Yeah, it seems like that's the line of demarcation right there.
Yeah, it looks like right there.
Yeah,
you're right. That is the toupee line.
Yeah, right on, dude. I wasn't sure if I was just imagining that or not. Yeah,
it's an important question, sir.
Yes,
the president's toupee is serious business.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't fucking had that fucking censored off the internet.
Yep. Oh yeah. Let's see here. Oh, now that. Oh yeah, I definitely want to. Damn it! Where's that article from? There we go. I gotta delete everything right away, or I end up like bringing shit up again.
All right.
Like later when I realize if I don't delete that shit right after I close it from my bookmarks list, I'll just bring that shit up again and then fucking.
Yeah.
Like here we go. Oh, this is fun. So this is what I found so far. Unfortunately, they're all out of them. Oh no, they're in again. So this is what I want to make Matt eat.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Engelhart, I should say. Yeah.
You doxing people?
We've said our names on here before. My name's Will. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that though, but I don't really.
Oh, it's in the fucking year worth of prior. Past.
Oh, right. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Have you actually eaten one of these? I know you probably answered that question already, but
that's insane. Oh, okay. Their right mind would choose to do that.
Yeah. I was gonna say it seems like an awful. Yeah, what if it actually is really good?
I spent all my money on Christmas gifts, so unfortunately, I don't have. Oh, here we go. There's a good side section of it.
Yeah, so that makes it look not that bad, but that other picture of the bun from like the top down makes it look like it's all fucking gross. See, that does not look good.
No, it does not look good at all. And if you've ever seen like a YouTube video, you can find people eating them on YouTube.
No, really.
If you've seen a YouTube video of it, it is not appetizing at all.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, why would you do that unless it tastes pretty close to the real thing? Like,
well, from what I've seen on the YouTube videos, the flavor is fine. It's just the texture and the look of it is not great.
So it would be on soggy, I would imagine, right?
So the deal with it is that's backpacking hiker food.
Mm-hmm.
So you would only buy like one or two to take with you on like a big backpacking trip, like a super long one. And it would be like a treat. Like you get a cheeseburger because that's really hard to carry that stuff to make a cheeseburger on the trail.
Right.
So, like that it's like there's no real cheeseburger MRE. There's no pizza MRE. There was a pizza MRE for a very brief amount of time, but apparently it's very difficult to make too.
Gotcha.
Shelf-stable pizza.
Yeah, I was gonna say camping. It's real easy to make a fucking burger. They're fucking fantastic.
Oh, see, I'm talking about backpacking.
Right.
Where you're carrying everything on your back and you're going out for like 2 or 3 weeks, hiking like 20 or 30 miles.
Yeah,
They might
exactly.
do like one of those in their backpack, and that'll be like a treat for something, you know.
Mm. Yeah,
So in that
but
respect, they're not
still, if
bad.
it's like I would imagine it being incredibly like soggy, like the bun and everything being incredibly soggy. But they must
Nope.
do something.
For everything I've seen, the bun is not soggy.
Hmm.
So what they do is from the bottom of the can, they put in the top bun upside down,
Right.
and then cheese, and then a little like tablespoon or so of sauce
Mm.
on the cheese, and then they put the burger patty in, a couple of shitty strips of bacon, and then the bottom bun or something like that.
Right. Right. And then just seal that up.
Yeah, and so, or no, wait, they put the sauce directly on one of the buns, but it's so little sauce that it doesn't soak through.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they put the
But yeah.
cheese and bacon and meat, and then the other bun, and so it just seals it up. And then um, I think they cook the burger and the bacon prior,
Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine
because
they'd have
otherwise,
to.
when you cooked it, because they have to cook it in the can a little bit just for the pasteurization process, to
Right.
make it
Right.
safe to store for a long period. Um,
Right. Yeah. Because when you were showing
the
them
juices will
boiling it
come
or
out and it would get
whatever,
all soggy. Yeah,
yeah, I assume they're boiling it just to heat it up.
yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I assume that's what that
No, no,
was
no.
all
Yeah, you
about.
boil it for. I think you boil it for like 5 to 10 minutes to warm it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Engelhardt will really appreciate that.
Yeah. But I am kind of intrigued about that. Like, there should be a way for them to kind of, and it seems like it would almost be better to keep the patty kind of separate, like wrapped separately in there. It seemed like everything else would be pretty,
Oh, like tactical
maybe
bacon style.
yeah, or like the cheese and the, like, the bacon, the cheese, and the patty kind of separate from the bun. But maybe not. Maybe it makes no fucking difference. I don't know. What? Oh, really quick. What is the complaint about the taste? Is it like rubbery, or like what do they say is wrong with it?
No, there's no complaint about the taste. It's just the texture. It's not very like it's kind of dry and
Yeah, like
it's
rubbery
not.
kind of thing.
It's a little bit like it's not quite as the right. What do you call it? Texture.
Right, texture. Yeah. Okay. No, I get that. Texture is huge for me, dude. So I totally understand that.
See, whereas I used to put shit in fucking I completely lost the fucking
Used to put shit in.
in a food processor and just blend it when I was in
Right.
high
Right.
school, like fucking everything. So here's what I was talking about. You'll see what I'm saying.
Right.
Tactical bacon here. I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger. But you see, it's sort of like wrapped up in wax paper and separated out.
Oh, right. 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 Okay.
So when it comes out, it's in like 3 separate sheets of bacon. It's canned
Yeah.
bacon.
Yeah. Does
So
that
you're
come out
thinking
okay?
something like that would make sense.
Right. Yeah, it seems like keeping them. Although again, maybe not. Maybe it wouldn't make any difference at all. But yeah, it seems like there should be kind of a layer in between the bun and the like cheese and the
Well, I mean,
bacon
they
and patty.
do like the what do you call it? The cinnamon rolls in the can, sort of like the biscuits in a can, but there's like 2 separate parts.
No, right, right.
And then I
Yeah,
know they
yeah.
make like a Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner in a can, and they have separators, like it's sort of separated out.
Yeah.
So
I
know
was
it's
thinking
possible.
more of like having that stuff like in a little separate plastic thing. But yeah, you're right. Just a wax paper would probably be enough.
I mean, you could put it in a little wax pouch.
Mm.
You could put like the cheese and the burger patty in a wax pouch, and then put the bread in the one end of the can, and those 2 in the bottom end of the can.
Mm.
And then when they are done, they could just no. The only problem I can see with that is the cheese probably would have to be on the bread already.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you cook that shit in the can, like you boil it,
Mm.
and the cheese is in a pouch or in a layer, it's just going to melt onto it, and you're not going to get anywhere near all of it.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, the cheese. Damn the cheese.
So the cheese would probably have to be like in the bun, but you could probably put like a little foil retort pouch of sauce or something and a wax pouch for the burger patty.
Yeah.
And keep it separate like that way.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, no matter what, the cheese is kind of the issue, I guess. Because if it's separated at all, the cheese is gonna go everywhere, or it's gonna get stuck to both sides of the bun or whatever. So, whatever. They probably know what they're doing.
Well, you know what the thing is just making a hamburger in a can.
Yeah, this is true. You don't necessarily need the cheese.
Yeah, burger in a can, it'd still be pretty cool.
Yeah, indeed.
But that does remind me, though, there is a Christmas dinner in a can that I should probably try to get a hold of, too.
Yeah, do it. See what that's like. Although, man, now I'm really thinking about how good the fucking burgers taste cooked over a campfire. Now it's driving me nuts. I miss that so much, dude. I think have I mentioned this on here before? Like, we have a thing that you can cook like at least 4 patties at once. That's kind of got the thing on each side. You can flip it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
All right. Yeah, it's basically like it's 2 sides of a kind of a grill-looking thing, and then there's a long handle coming out of both sides. There's a little thing that you can slide down that long handle. Like when you're actually cooking it, you slide it all the way down to keep it together. And then, you can easily flip them back and forth, cooking like I said, easily you can cook like 4 patties at a time. Let me see if I can.
I know what you're talking about. I had one that made toast, but it was just like 1 at a time. But I know what you're talking about.
So it's just a bigger version of that. It's just a little wider.
Yeah, 4 pouches. 4 little things, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it sounds good.
Yeah, and again, hamburgers cooked over. We always it's just usually pine wood basically, but they always taste so goddamn good cooked over a fucking campfire, dude. It's really Christmas dinner. Clever.
This isn't what I'm talking about. This is, I think, a fake joke about it.
Yeah, I was going to say
Christmas dinner or a Thanksgiving dinner in a can.
Yeah,
this is not it, but it's similar. But here we have scrambled egg and bacon on the bottom, 2 mince pies, turkey and potatoes, gravy, bread sauce, cranberry sauce, Brussels sprouts with stuffing or broccoli with stuffing, roasted carrots and parsnips, and then a Christmas pudding on the bottom.
Yeah, that seems fucking nasty. That seems, that can't be fucking real.
I want that for me and Engelhardt to try.
Yeah, see how bad it is or how good it might
Essentially,
be.
yeah.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Is this actually where I can buy it?
That is a real thing? That seems so disgusting, dude. Like just layers of each kind of thing. That seems weird.
I don't know if it's in layers, but I think I can buy this.
That's what it looks like. It looks like there's literally layers of each little fucking entree or whatever. And it seems bizarre. But you never know. Obviously, if it's out there, people are buying it. Although it would be funny if there's just a ridiculous amount of people buying it as a fucking gag.
Let's see.
Which I would imagine most people are, honestly.
I will find this. If this is a real thing, sooner or later I'll find it. I'm not going to find it now because it took me a long time to find the cheeseburger in a can. But Engelhardt, if you're listening this late in the show ever, I will find us a Thanksgiving dinner in a can or a Christmas dinner in a can. I will not fail you.
Nice. Yeah, classic Thanksgiving Day
dinner. Even if it has to be like canned turkey, canned cranberry sauce, canned gravy, canned mashed potatoes, canned stuffing.
Right.
Something like that,
All right, and this one, that's canned dog food. Thanksgiving Day dinner, canned dog food. What the fuck?
Food. Well, there's one on Amazon that's a cheeseburger in a can, but it's a joke. It's not really something you should eat.
All right.
Like they say you can eat it, but you probably shouldn't on the label.
Right.
So the one I found was completely different. I had to go through all these little fucking It's from a German seller, I think. I can't. It's not even an American company.
That's crazy.
But I will get a couple of those for he and I after
Yeah.
Christmas and all that stuff when I don't, not spending my money on
Yeah.
other people.
And I am really fucking curious about this now. If there's actually one that's fucking.
Well, if you find it before I do, by all means, you let me know because I will hop on that and make sure I get a bookmark of that so I'm ready to go.
Almost everything I'm seeing right here, I'm just doing a kind of a quick look. I just want to. Yeah. Oh wait, is that the same one you saw?
I've
The
seen
Merrick.
somebody try it on YouTube. That's the thing. Like, so I've seen somebody try one on YouTube and it was a real thing. It may not be sold anymore.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
But if it's not sold anymore, here's the thing. People probably still have it somewhere.
Yeah, there's still cans floating around. I can look at
some of the same places probably where you buy like 20, 30-year-old MREs and maybe find that kind of thing through that.
Yeah. Could be a collector's item too, Seriously. Like it's a gag thing, but if there's hardly any left, could have some value.
It would be really cool. I would be very fucking thrilled.
Man, I'm trying a different search. Canned holiday dinner. See what that looks like. Blue buffalo Santa stew. It's always fucking dog food. Stop it, you fuckers. Yeah, Christmas dinner. Okay, I saw the one that you saw, the Christmas dinner. Yeah, almost all these are pet food, wet dog food, cat food. All right, I think I need to put minus dog and minus cat. I always forget about doing that. All right,
yeah,
well, enough.
I'll look at feed us literal fucking dog food. That would be unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, funny, but unfortunate.
Fuckwad joined us, dude. How did that happen? We have 5 people watching this late. That's a fucking miracle.
5 people. Holy shit. Hey, Fuckwad.
Yeah. I mean, I know 2 of them are still you and me to look at the chat, but that means there's 3 other people.
Make us feel good. Well, sooner or later, there will be a Christmas dinner and a can style thing of some sort that I force Engelhardt to try.
Yeah, no, I seriously, well, I'm going to fucking look that up later, dude.
Oh, man, it's just glorious. Oh, there's a 12-course meal in a can.
That sounds like a lot of courses to be fitting in one can, dude.
Oh, man. Well, they do whole chickens in a can.
Yeah, that's
the 12-course meal consists of local cheeses with sourdough bread. That's course 1. Pickled Kobe beef with charred strawberry. That's course 2. Ricotta ravioli with a soft egg yolk. That's 3. So this is stuff you probably wouldn't want to eat in a can anyway.
Right.
Oh, Jesus. Shiitake mushroom topped with filled peppers.
Yeah, that sounds too gourmet to be fucking, like, canned. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds too nice. Steak.
Oh, man. This is... Oh. Okay, let me share this, because this is pretty disturbing looking. If anything, it actually looks worse than the other one.
12-course meal again. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, layers like that, it just seems weird. Like, if you had a thing where it's just, like, separated into 3 sections or something, it wouldn't be that bad. But just layers of different shit, it seems bizarre to me, dude.
Oh, that might be another little layer. It looks like there is 12. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I don't know, man. I'm having a hard time figuring it out. That's a little.
They're running together. Yeah.
4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there's 12.
Yeah. Yeah, and even then, I find the like the chicken in a can or that kind of shit. I find it really disturbing for some reason.
When it comes out, it always fucking Jello on it and shit.
Yeah, well, for some reason, it always reminds me of the movie Eraserhead. Have you seen Eraserhead?
I don't think I have, actually.
All right. Well, for some reason, it just reminds me of that fucking movie. Like, there's this weird scene in there where there's like fucking, the little fucking mini chickens they're eating and they're like dancing around and shit. For some reason, that movie's really fucking weird, dude. All right, I don't know if there's anybody in the chat that has seen that movie, but if you could just express somehow how bizarre that goddamn movie is. Are you familiar with the plot of it or any of that shit?
No.
Not really. Okay. Yeah, it's really hard to explain. Actually, like you'd have to kind of look up the. Maybe I should just look up the synopsis. But basically, it's this dude, and he fucking ends up meeting this chick and kind of knocking her up. They have some weird mutant fucking baby. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, dude. It's really bizarre.
I'll have to find this movie.
Yeah, it's an older one. I think it's who's the fucking dude that did it? Is it David Byrne? Hold on.
Also, hey to Sensoka in the chat. Hey, man.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm just saying hi to the other person in the chat.
Oh, Sensoka? Yeah, I missed that. Let's see. Yeah, David Lynch. That's what it was.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fucking. He's a fucking lunatic. I think that was like his first major movie, if I remember correctly. Maybe not, but
no, it's probably on YouTube somewhere. I mean, a lot of old movies are now. Like if you want to watch Vincent Price movies and stuff, you can actually find a ton of different Price movies up on YouTube. I mean, I've probably found a dozen.
Yeah, I have to check that out. I think that is where I watched it. I think I watched the movie on.
Yeah, right there. I can see it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so fucking weird. It gets really trippy, dude. Like, it's all weird, but, like, definitely towards the end, it gets really bizarre, dude. Actually,
interesting.
Yeah.
It sounds interesting. There's a mutant baby involved.
Yeah. Dude, it's really creepy.
Oh, was it not Toxic Avengers? Fucking... Oh, there's some crazy, over-the-top sort of spoofy horror movie comedy kind of thing where it's like a high school class. It's like Mutant High or something like that. Oh, there's a lady in a radiator.
Oh yeah, yes, dude, that's so good. She has like a weird mask thingy on, if I remember correctly, with a fucking weird fucking smile kind of pasted on. Yeah, it's really weird, dude. It's fucking I haven't quite had nightmares. Like, I'm surprised it didn't give me nightmares. Like, that's how weird that fucking movie was. Where it was just so like I like weird, like normally, but there was something disturbingly weird about that movie, dude. That I was like, oh shit, I think I might actually have nightmares about a movie for the first time. But yeah, the baby was really disturbing looking. It looked like an aborted calf head. That's what the baby looked like.
I wonder if that's because like the props, that's all they could find.
Yeah,
like, I guess make the fucking cow head look like a fucking baby or something.
Yeah, let me see. You can probably find if you just type in Eraserhead and baby, you can probably get a picture of it. Oh, God damn it, I can't type for shit.
Eraserhead baby, that's an interesting one.
All right, yeah. Do you see it, or did you look it up?
I'm just now image searching.
Yeah, you can definitely fucking get a look at it, dude. Yeah.
See here. Let's share this with the class, boys and girls.
Yep, there it is. Fucking, that came out of the chick somehow.
Oh, that looks perfectly reasonable, man. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's what all babies look like.
Yeah, and the thing fucking screams constantly, dude. Like, yeah, it's really
that's cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can buy it. It's like I found that story about like the potentially selling baby parts, the whole baby parts being sold by fucking Planned Parenthood stuff, because I was looking to see if I could buy a human heart. Turns out they don't allow that.
Mm.
I would have
Damn
thought
them
for sure,
fascists.
like there'd just be some old useless hearts somewhere, and somebody would like put them in a jar and sell them to like classrooms or something.
Mm. Yeah, for science.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, they got brains in a jar. Seen that shit.
Not human brains though. I tried that too.
Mm. Yeah, damn.
Well, and then I guess somebody was saying like, you don't really want to attach like value to that because somebody might start killing people for the parts to sell, and yeah, I guess I can kind of see that being an issue.
Yeah, kind of like how H.H. Holmes used to kill people and fucking sell the skeletons to,
Oh,
what do you call them? The medical schools.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. No, he used to literally fucking like throw them in acid and fucking bleach them all out, and sell them to the schools.
Yeah, there was a couple of people. One of them, my name is actually the same as a serial killer's name, and actually a form of killing is named after that serial killer because he used to kill people and sell them to medical schools.
Jesus.
So after the homeless people, the ones that nobody liked.
Yeah.
That serial killer, like the cleaner or something like that, where they think they're cleaning up like a big dirty mess or something.
Yeah, that's disturbing, dude. Eesh.
Well, somebody's got to clean the streets, right?
Yeah, that's true. It could be who's to say it's not a valuable service that guy was doing? I mean, besides the authorities.
Yeah, well, yeah, the authorities, those unreasonable bastards.
Yeah.
If you go to PewTube, PEW-tube, you can just Google that and go to the website. And on PewTube, you can actually search ovens of Auschwitz. And they have a lovely little music video for the ovens of Auschwitz that's a kind of play on that theme, except it's killing Jews.
God damn, dude.
Just want to share that with as many people as I can. Definitely look that up on PewTube, ovens of Auschwitz.
Yeah, apparently you used to be able to buy whole skeletons from India, but no longer, I guess.
Well, I think the problem is that people were probably killing people to get the parts.
Yeah.
You could do it the legal way, and it probably still makes a little bit of money, but the illegal way probably makes a lot more.
Yeah.
And in India, that fucking caste system ain't no joke, man. There's a lot of people nobody gonna care if you go kill them.
Yeah. Have you seen this about the poltergeist? Apparently they got the skeletons from India for the movie Poltergeist. It was actually apparently cheaper than making fake skeletons, dude. That's crazy.
Oh, there's a lawsuit because they didn't tell the actors. Yeah, I could see that. The actors being a little upset about like, hey, wait a minute. What the fuck are you getting these real skeletons for?
Yeah, it turns out these fake skeletons are not fake after all, and there used to be a human person living inside this. Yeah, that'd be fucking disturbing, dude.
It wouldn't bother me. I mean, I can understand why it would bother people, but I don't think I'd really care.
Yeah, I think it should have been disclosed. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, me personally, I would care. I don't think they absolutely should have to tell people. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't bother me. I mean, it's not like the people are still there, or like chunks of their fucking flesh are still hanging off of it or something weird like that. Yeah. But yeah, still, definitely something disclosed.
We had what was it, fetal pig dissections when I was in high school. Like, everybody dissects like a frog or a fetal pig or a baby cat or something like that. And we had a substitute teacher for like 3 of the days. So it was my favorite thing to bring different parts of the pig up and ask the teacher if they were the right parts.
Yeah, dude.
Freak that poor lady out. She's no, take it back. Stop.
You know what's funny?
Liver malformed.
Stabby. Just imagine the terror you were to fucking substitute teachers.
Well, we actually in my high school fucking got rid of one of the science teachers. He just stopped showing up.
Oh wow.
What happened was, because the school I went to was just a freshly brand new built high school, like it was a brand new high school. We were the first 2 years to go in. So the first year when I was a freshman in high school, we only had sophomores above us.
Right.
And so maybe about 2 weeks into the first year, they hired another science teacher because they needed one more for the classes. Well, instead of choosing at random the students that they would take from the other science teachers' classes, they let the science teachers who'd already had those classes for 2 weeks decide which students to send to the new science class. I'm not sure how I ended up in the new one, but I ended up in the new one.
Somehow the guy, they just knew, dude. They had a sense about you.
And basically, the students, I was an angel. I would never have done anything, but the rest of the students made this poor guy's life hell for like the whole first semester. And about a week before the end of the first semester, he just stopped showing up to school.
Yeah.
And so like we just didn't go anywhere. Like at first people were like, oh, I'm going to go take off then. If he's not here, I'm just going to go do whatever. And we're like, no, look, this is a good thing. I don't think anybody knows or there'd be a teacher here. So we don't go anywhere.
Right.
We just do whatever we want in the classroom for like the fucking time because we're kind of at the end of the building. So even if we got a little rowdy or something, nobody'd hear us anyway.
Right.
They'll never know. So we got away with that shit until like there was a fire alarm and we all had to go out. And they're like, "Where's your teacher?" Like, "Oh, he stopped showing up a while ago."
That's when you tell them, dude. Like, no,
well, we couldn't lie anymore.
He was right behind us. I don't know. I'm sure he'll be along.
He apparently didn't put in notice or anything. He just stopped going to school.
Wow. So he just basically had a fucking nervous breakdown, man.
Oh, they had like spit wads all over the ceiling and pencils jammed all over the ceiling and fucking. Yeah. So every classroom had a phone in it. Mm-hmm. I don't know who designed this, but they're evil. But people kept calling him on the phone, right? So first he takes the handset off of the base and just yanks the cord out and throws it across the room because it rang a certain number of times and he couldn't do anything about it and the office wouldn't do anything. Then the fucking base of the phone rings. So he yanks that off the fucking jack out of the wall, like unplugs that and throws that across the room after it. Then the fucking place where you plug the phone cord in, just the wall jack itself started ringing. And that was probably the most cruel thing I've ever seen in my life because he looked like he wanted to just cry.
Like he's like, I don't know what I can do. I can't stop it.
Yeah, well, and there was no way to turn the ringer off on that phone because the office didn't want you to not, pick up.
That's hilarious, though, man. You're like, okay,
it was so fucking funny because, like, no matter how much you felt for the guy, at the part where the wall jack itself, with nothing plugged in, just on its own, starts ringing.
Yeah. Like you have never seen a man more defeated in your life.
It was so bad. And like, I mean, that was just one of the things people did to this poor guy. Have you ever smelt what a capacitor smells like when you break it open?
No, I don't think I have.
It's
more not good.
It's more potent and more awful than like the worst stink bomb you've ever smelled.
Oh wow.
Okay. And so every so often, like the electronics teacher would give somebody a capacitor that he'd cut open to stick in the guy's like lab.
Oh wow, dude!
Like, Jesus. It was this guy was just.
Did the electronics guy just hate him, dude, or what?
He was.
Who would do that?
Well, so the electronics teacher in high school that I had would give people extra credit if they would let him shock them. So this guy was just he was just born to fuck with people. At one point, I was in math class, and the fucking math teacher from the classroom next door came barreling, like he literally knocked the door. There's the little dividers between the classrooms. So it's set up like 4 classrooms with these sort of temporary divider walls that you could separate out and make one big classroom.
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And he literally fell through the door with a football in his hand and a helmet on his head in the middle of math class. This other guy did, right? Gets up, the other math teacher that I'm in the class, they're kind of friends. Like, so he walks over and he's kind of giving him shit like, what are you doing? So he kisses him and then runs away.
Wow.
It's the door. Yeah, it was a weird school, man.
God damn, dude. Yeah. Sounds like the perfect place for you, though. Or maybe,
it was so great. Well, the thing was, it was a new school, so a lot of the teachers were super young, and they hadn't been just fucking destroyed yet. Well, the science teacher was after the first semester, but, the rest of them were all relatively young teachers.
Yeah,
And
yeah. They hadn't had their wills broken
yeah, I mean, they were so like young and fresh.
by
Like
the
they
fucking
let
kids.
one of my science classes let me and my friend go teach a science class in junior high. So we
Oh
literally got to
wow,
go
dude.
to a junior high and just teach a class for a day on like the what was it fucking, I forget what you call it, like, because there's animal, insect, the five kingdoms of like, I forget what it is, but like, you know, like the it was
Yeah, the
something.
kingdom phylum. What is it? Phylum, um, genus, species. What are the
Yeah,
different ones?
based on that, it's been a long fucking time since I was in high school. But yeah, we
Right,
got to
right.
teach a whole class for like a day. We literally just taught for like a whole day as in junior high classes.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Oh, were you looking for the
Biology, fuck
actual
what, yeah, it's
biology?
biology.
Okay, I was going for the specific thing that you were teaching. I didn't know you asked for the
Well,
class.
yeah, it was science biology stuff, but we were teaching like the five kingdoms kind of thing,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and we built like models, and we had like, you know, like a little activity that everybody did, and the kids seemed to like it. Like the junior high kids liked it.
Right, right.
I didn't look at them as kids
Yeah,
then, but I look at them as kids now.
yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, you're only a year older than that, basically. You're too older at that
No, that was
point.
when I was a senior in high school, so I was
Oh,
like 4 years
gotcha.
older than them, but I still was. It wasn't like that big of a difference.
Right, right. Yeah. I was trying to think of the thing. What is it now? Now it's bugging me. There's kingdom, phylum, genus, species. What am I missing? There's 5 classifications, right? There's like the kingdom, or maybe there's more than that. It's like kingdom, phylum. I know there's genus and species are the last two. Fuck it. Never mind. All right, I'll shut up.
Yeah, but that's what we were teaching essentially, like all the different
Right.
ways that they broke down.
Mm, yeah.
Oh god, that was a fun. Yeah, high school was a weird. It was a weird high school. Like we had a construction technologies class. So like,
Construction technologies.
so instead of a wood shop, like we were doing like, you know, building cabinets and shit for the classroom.
Oh
But
wow,
we would
gotcha.
also, we wouldn't just work with wood though. We would also work with metal. Taxonomy is what you were teaching. Aha, Buckwad. Good job, sir.
Yeah. All
We were
right.
just doing a general overview of taxonomy.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm stupider now than I was then. Um, but like we would
Yeah,
also do like
yeah.
welding and metal work and stuff like that in the same thing, and we learned how to do like wiring, basic house wiring kind of stuff in the construction tech class. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, we designed and built a radio in the electronics class, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, for the most part, you guys were just unpaid labor to fucking flesh out the school. It sounds like, but yeah.
There was in the first fucking yearbook, there was like somebody wrote an ode to the jackhammer, like a poem about it, because they were still building the school.
That's fucking crazy. They're like, hey, let's call it a class and have these fucking idiots build cabinets that we need.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they needed cabinets, and it's construction tech. We built cabinets, man.
Yeah. No,
I'd
it's
love
not
to go
that.
see if they're still there. I wonder if they held up.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's actually not a bad idea. Like it seems like exploitative on some level, but then again, you're learning how to build some shit.
Well,
So
these
it's
were
really
these
not.
were like what do you call it? It wasn't just regular high school credit. It was actually like trade school credit.
Okay.
Like it was like, there's a specific term for it. It's essentially a program where you're learning like things that you could actually genuinely use in the job market.
Mm-hmm.
So like I went all the way through like advanced electronics. So if I'd been smart, I could have gone through and become like an electrician.
Yeah. All right.
It's like ROP or something like that, regional occupancy program, something like that, regional occupational program.
Yeah.
But it was like
Right.
genuinely teaching you stuff that you would use in like real life. And like I've used stuff from the electronics class and you know, the construction tech and stuff. So I mean, it not necessarily in a job per se.
Right. Yeah, but just in regular life, yeah.
Yeah, but knowing how to wire, like, you know, just enough to like replace like a wall switch or put in a new outlet or something like that.
Mm. Yeah. See, I'm not that good with any of that shit.
I know enough how to do
Good
it
thing to
without
have.
killing myself or anyone else or burning the house.
Right. Yeah. Although I used to hook up to like speakers and amps and shit in my car, I guess. So
You know, house
I
wiring's
had the
not that
skill
much
for a little
different. In
while.
fact, house wiring's probably a little simpler than that in most cases.
Yeah.
You're just doing 3 wires.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. No,
hot
I
and the two
remember being.
grounds.
Yeah. Had to have my system bumping
Yeah.
back in the day. That's not really that big anymore, man. But man, when I was like, late teens, early 20s, you had to have a system in your car that was bumping. You know?
I think it's still big for kids, but like as an adult, you're like, I don't want to be an asshole.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it. I don't think it's as big though, even for kids. I
Maybe
rarely
cost
fucking.
down to the point where it just stopped being worth it.
Yeah. Plus, cruising is really not a thing anymore. Like cruising
Oh,
the
that's true.
boulevard is not a
Yeah.
thing
Because you used
anymore.
to drive around and check people out, just drive.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Like
was
in
some
my
good
town,
time.
like there's a whole fucking loop of where everyone would just fucking cruise back and forth from one end of the town to the other,
I
like for
was the weird
fucking
kid.
hours.
I was the weird dude in like a fucking '84 Saab Turbo who was blasting like fucking Britney Spears because I thought that shit was hilarious.
God damn, dude. No, I would always have some kind of system in my car, like at least 12-inch woofers and shit. The fucking big bass coming out of my Camaro.
It's the way
Yeah,
to go, man. It's the way to go.
yeah. My
Yeah, the
little
most I've ever
T-top.
had to do in a car with wiring is just like replacing speakers, and that's not the same as putting a system in at all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I would have no fucking clue how to do any of that shit now. Like that knowledge is long gone. But yeah.
Um, you know what? You don't need to though. Now you just fucking Google that shit and look it up on YouTube and watch somebody else do it.
All right. This is true. Yeah, there's videos out there for everything. You want to learn how to install a car stereo? That's out there. You want to learn how to shoot heroin? That's out there.
Well, fucking, I know I've talked about it before, like the tiny house thing. But the majority of people that build them build tiny houses and like rebuild vans into like little RVs. They
All
they
right.
just watch YouTube videos. They're not construction workers or anything.
Yeah.
And
I
there's
just.
enough information on YouTube that teach you how to like put in a window properly with all the flashing and stuff so that you don't get water in your fucking house.
Right. Right. Yeah. No. Like I said, anything you can think of, man.
Oh, yeah, leasing a car for a teen sounds like a bad financial. That does absolutely.
Yeah. It does have a point. Most cars do have pretty decent speakers, but if you want that bass,
Oh, you know what?
they still don't have
Also,
that bass.
in California, I don't know if it's the same anywhere else, but in California, uh, 16 you can drive, but only on your own. You can't drive your friends around until you're 18.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
and you
crazy.
can't drive after dark. It's pretty restrictive now.
Hmm.
Like when I was 16 and got my license, I had a license and I could drive anybody, anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, you were as the same as anyone else with a license. Yeah,
Yeah, but now it's like a provisional license until you're 18.
that's pretty
So you
crazy.
like, get. I don't think you can drive your friends to school. You can just drive yourself. Whereas like when I
Wow,
was 16, I was driving like my baby sister to fucking daycare every day.
wow.
And then like I maybe
Yeah,
had my license for 2 weeks before I drove fucking 2 or 3 hours to go to like Lollapalooza with my friend.
yeah. Yeah, I think there were probably a lot of accidents of them because I know it happened. I remember shortly after I got out of school. Actually, it might have only been like maybe a year after. We had two accidents really close to each other, like within a week and a half, where like five kids died in each accident. One kid was driving, obviously, a bunch of the other kids, and they got in an accident, and it happened like twice, like really close together. So a lot of that shit probably happened, and they're like, all right, we can't have all these kids bunched together. They're like distracting each other or whatever the fuck's happening, but they're ending up in fucking fatal car accidents.
Yeah, well that happens all the time. Yeah, that used to be a big thing. I
Yeah.
know the big thing when I was in school wasn't anybody that died in a car accident. It was somebody that got hit on the street because it was a new school. There weren't sidewalks to get to it on one of the streets,
All
and so
right.
people were walking down the side of the fucking road, and somebody was not paying attention and took out some kid,
Yeah.
and that was when everybody in school pretended to know who that kid was.
Oh, right, right.
Like, I didn't know the dude, so I didn't really. Like, I was like, well, that's sad, but I didn't know him. Like, I'm not gonna pretend I'm like heartbroken or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be some fucking loser, and they're like, "Oh, you're such a great guy." Like, you didn't know him, fuckers. Shut up.
It was the first. It was the first experience I had where like the dead people can do no wrong thing.
Oh, right, right.
So everybody, this dude was like a paragon of fucking high school students. Like everybody's looking up to
Right.
him. He was
Yeah.
everybody's friend, and they all fucking miss him so much. And I'm just like, how they're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, like,
I
none
mean,
of you
sure, his
fuckers
real
hung out with
like
him.
people who really knew him, I feel really bad for. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just that there are a lot of fake ones.
Yeah, that would be infuriating, dude. I would have fucking gone off on people. Like, fuck you, asshole. You didn't fucking know
I was real fucking nihilistic in high school.
him.
I just didn't give a
Yeah.
fuck. I just was like, fucking nothing matters. Doesn't matter because I hated it so much.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just didn't show up a lot.
Oh, see, I could.
As
I
soon
could
as I got
never
my
download that.
license, yeah, as soon as I got my license, I was fucking done, dude. I'm like, okay, so I can either go to class or I can go to the fucking arcade and fucking play games and shit and drive myself. Like, yeah, I'm not going to class, dude. Fuck that shit.
If I'd had a choice, it would have been the arcade every time.
Yeah, that's the
But I know
problem.
for a fact if I tried to do that, like I might get away with it for like 2 or 3 days. But then my parents would have just tied my ass up and like dropped me off in front of the school like every day.
Yeah, no. I
Like,
think
oh, good luck
my
with that,
parents.
buddy.
I think my parents were pretty much done by that point, dude.
No, mine would have
Yeah.
never tolerated that. I would have been.
Yeah,
I
I
would have
think
been far worse.
I was the fourth of like five kids, and I think by the time me and my younger brother came around, they were just done.
Oh, that makes sense. So you were youngest. Okay, I was the oldest.
Yeah, no, it's definitely seems different, dude. The older ones, they get more like stern and more disciplined, and then as it goes, more and more kids, it gets more and more lax. I think.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
What was it? Fucking. I had the authority to ground my siblings.
Oh wow.
So there's 6 years between me and my little brother, and 12 between me and my sister.
Yeah,
I could ground each of them for a day if I wanted to.
yeah.
When we were still all younger than 18.
Right, right.
And it was like I could either ground them for a day from like going somewhere or ground them for a day from like TV.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, yeah, it was. I didn't feel like that was appropriate. even in high school, I was like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it could definitely be abused, obviously, but with that big of a gap, because I didn't like that, dude. My family is like is pretty much the exact opposite of that, where we're all about 1.5 to 2 years apart.
Oh
for
yeah,
5 fucking kids, dude. So you have 5 kids basically born in a 10-year period.
yeah. Oh, I got an older cousin who's exactly 6 years older than me, like his same birthday.
Yeah.
It's like him, then me, and then my brother and my sister, all of us 6 years apart. And I think my sister is 6 years older than one of my other cousin's kids. It's just a weird
but
thing
no,
with sixes in my family. 1.5 years makes way more sense.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense, man.
But you got somebody that's only a couple years or 2 to 4 years older than you that's fucking grounding you and shit like that. I used to get fucking furious, dude.
True,
like
yeah. I was driving and my brother was 10, so that's a fair point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough of a difference where you probably didn't have as big a problem with that. But I would be fucking angry, dude, because my sister was a bitch, so she'd fucking ground me for no fucking reason other than her fucking friends were over there and she didn't want to fucking deal with me, like that kind of bullshit.
Oh yeah, Well, the only thing I ever really had an issue with my brother when I was like in grade school, always wanted to tag along, and he couldn't even fucking barely walk right. It was just like, nope.
You're not gonna make it, buddy.
Well, and then fucking one of the weird things was he and I went to the fucking park one time, and this dumb kid, like I didn't ditch him or nothing. We were still there. I was looking for him, trying to find him to bring him home because it was like I didn't know where he went.
Right.
And this dumb fucking kid went and got in the car with some dude, and the dude drove him back to my parents' house.
Oh wow.
Like he wasn't alone. He just took off, and I got in trouble for it.
Jesus.
Why would you let your brother get in the car with somebody? I didn't fucking know he was getting in the car with somebody. Why is he that dumb? Like I
Yeah,
was still
that's fucking
here.
disturbing. Like you're fucking really lucky that was a decent dude because that could have been a fucking horrible
Yeah.
situation.
But they yelled at me like I was my fault. He fucking just
Yeah.
up and left the
Like
park in the
no.
car. Like I'm looking around for this kid to take him home, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's
he
fucking
just
bullshit, man.
fucking, you know, he was hanging out with me a minute, and then the next minute he's fucking in somebody else's car, and I'm the person at fault. It was weird.
Yeah, no, it can happen really quick, man. Kids can fucking disappear. I remember my son, um, like his two older siblings would, they were playing at the house across the street, and he was probably 2 years old, like just barely old enough to walk. Like somehow we missed out, but he actually went out the door and went across the street and was knocking on the neighbor's door to go play with his fucking, with his brother and sister. And we didn't see any of it until he got brought back. We didn't even notice he was fucking gone.
Nice.
Like, dude, like, oh
How
my
did you
god,
do
I
that?
went into him, dude. Yeah, I was like, how the fuck did you, like, how did you sneak out like that?
I don't know, man.
You
Little
know?
kids are pretty clever, though. My little sister, when she was like a toddler, barely walking, like, and got up super early one morning, drug the chair across the fucking floor, used it to climb up over the fucking oven that's like, over in the wall,
Man.
and got all the cookies down.
Nice.
And then took a pack of cookies back to her room and moved all the furniture she could move herself in front of the door.
Oh wow.
And then was eating them.
Damn, dude, that's hilarious.
It was pretty funny because I woke up and I'm like, walking in the kitchen, why the fuck is there a chair in front of the? Where'd the cookies go? Like, so I got my mom up, and my mom let her keep some of them because she was just like, I got to reward the fucking ingenuity. I can't pretend I'm not at least a little proud.
Yeah. Although apparently, when I was, I must have been roughly about 2 years old because I think my brother was 6 months old. So I would have been roughly right around 2 years old. But apparently, like we were in the same room, we were in separate cribs. But apparently, I somehow managed to get out of my crib, went downstairs and got like a bag of brown sugar, and went back up, got into my brother's crib, and had the fucking brown sugar just all over everything, like fucking a big brown sugar cone on my brother's head.
Man.
Somehow at 2 years old, I managed to fucking again escape from mine, get the brown sugar, get into his, and then that's how my mom found us in the morning. It was us covered in fucking brown sugar, dude.
Oh, I'm sure that was a thrill for her. It's like, all right, I'm fucking spending my day cleaning two fucking kids.
I would have fucking just hosed us off if I were. Although I wish I had that memory, dude. I wish I knew how I fucking did that or why I fucking did that.
And see, and this explains how degenerate I am, I think. See, at that age, I was going around after my parents would have a party and finishing off all the drinks that got left out.
Yeah.
My mom came out to find drunken fucking 2-year-old walking down the hall.
God damn, dude. Although, you know what? I used to, my parents would always let me have a little sip of their beer and shit when they'd have parties. Like, they'd have all the friends over for parties and shit.
That used to be the thing for everybody, dude. Yeah, same here.
Yeah. But what I would do is I would make sure that everyone in the party, or as many people as possible, saw me getting that sip and them being okay with it. And I would go to everyone and get get a drink of everyone's fucking beers, dude, like all sneaky and shit.
Nice.
Yeah, and this was at like 5 years old. You know what I mean? Like at 4 or 5 years old. So I'm thinking, yeah, and really shocking that I ended up in rehab later in life.
Such a surprise.
Yeah. Damn.
Quality people, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've been going for just about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost 3 actually.
Yeah, almost 3 hours. Okay,
yeah.
It's about 3 hours. I think we're not going to get any better than that, so we should probably cut it off here.
Yeah. Peace out, fuckers.
Thank you for joining us. The Skittles McStabby Pants and Fucking, how do I forget your name? I'm an asshole.
Yeah, Deitois. I forget too. It's nonsense. Don't worry about it.
Yep. All right, man. And then the next one is Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So,
Indeed.
peace out, fools.
Bye-bye.